Dope magazine for state and dad. See it all work now, so they drop the cable down. Now, we're stealing from our neighbors. We're not doing it in Airbnb, we're stealing from internet from we're stealing internet. That's one of those things. So we have in the studio, the last,
Alex, what's your title?
Founder, CEO.
And then we got Steve Bennett, PhD, the scientific director.
Indeed.
You guys have
An array of Terps.
a full buffet. Can I show this off the camera? So you haven't really done it. I haven't taken the buffet because I got into this while you're out getting coffee. Get it in.
I will get in there.
I'm going to show this off to the camera. You guys hop on to it.
Okay. Well, right now, obviously, Terps are a big thing. Everybody's trying to figure out how to separate it properly. And interestingly enough, I think what you probably noticed too, like, none of us can smoke what we're smoking 3 years ago. You know what I mean? So I wonder what's going to happen 3 years from now. Now we're actually getting into this finite distillation, short path, and being able to break things down. What's interesting is like these are all full
Full-plate profile. It's even more for you and me especially. When's the last time you ever said anything else?
Never.
Right?
That's this whole golden lamp that's come here.
I know.
Well, the thing about I think this is
Don't talk about this.
in general, CO2, my biggest opinion about CO2 is that it doesn't extract enough flavors of our water. That's the problem. So basically, I looked at it on paper and I go, wow, 98.6%, whatever numbers always look great, but it was just like proofs in the pudding, and then when it came to the actual flavor, like I had a guy, remember the guy we had out in, when we were out in Seattle, the guy goes to our food and says, you ever tried to good CO2? I was like, nope. You know what I mean? And his goal in life was doing something good. Like everything he was still at 2 years ago, CO2, so extraction and right now, all of years ago. It wasn't as bad, but it was definitely just weird because it's kind of like, you know, when you vaporize stuff, and like the first time you do it, you think it's awesome. Then after about 10, 15 times, it's like, wait a minute, it's all making everything taste exactly the fucking same. Like it didn't pull, it doesn't give you that full flavor. So you put A's in there, or you put OG in there, yeah, a little different, but not enough of a difference. And I think CO2 might be getting to we see like it is huge problem.
You know, it's interesting because I would say in general, that was what CO2 was.
It was all kind of bringing it to the middle. I mean, it wasn't going to the extremes there.
So any extraction process, we lose a great deal of
Right.
in our just to catch up.
And we're going to catch them all, Turkey Man. But now you guys working with fresh material, dry material, all the above.
Both dry, fresh. We do a live term.
The other thing about CO2 is it's always like, you know, and I'm not saying an extra CO2 by any means, because it's like, it's saying, I was probably a big naysayer out there, like, get about it. But one of the things I really noticed was it seemed to pull, like, water into the mix. And that's what always fucked with my head. Like, it was almost like, no, this is really right. Because it's almost like a blown head gasket every single time we did it, where we mix it on the water, that's not like,
Well, there's some positive aspects to that. You've got, you know, soluble water, soluble, so basically, we actually are able to capture a lot more by retaining some of that water. It's not the worst thing.
right. Now, how is it for long term? Because that's what I always found, like, it's fine. Like, it's always, I noticed when,
That was our problem with the old Evo lab methodologies. We always had raging terps. There was off-the-charts terps. Substantially more than you would get with butane and propane, actually. The analysis showed it, but the real disconnect for the consumer was the water and the splatter.
Right there. I mean, with spoon distillation or hybrid distillation, you're really focused on water soluble turbines, depending on the solvents you have. But
you still documenting the machine install.
Yeah, and
I think a lot of times when you get to the top end, like top 1% of anything, it's how to get there. You know what I mean? It's not so much we're just trying to achieve. We're all trying to achieve a goal, how to get there. And once you get into that sphere, it's like it doesn't matter if it's water hash, it doesn't matter if it's DHO, CO2. They all start to get certain at the point there with tone or the point, and it's like I smelled it first. Whenever you hit first, it was like, wow, that from this side of the room smells exactly what I want to smell. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, and it was just from there to here was still sharp enough. And
Very, very distinct.
very skunky, almost. I was like, oh,
And that's all the new product that you saw. So what we do is we'll take a distillate, we'll do any number of different cannabinoid ratios. We distillate and we'll reintroduce these terps, these fresh terps, into the distillate at different ratios as well. It's a fine-tuning user experience. So there's a lot of tunability with this as well.
What is it, deconstruct, reconstruct?
No, that's not available to the consumer yet.
Yep, all these terps, fresh terps, they're,
So you can get the fresh herbs and you can get the isolated and mix match your own batch.
exactly, that's what we recommend, although we do sell cartridges so that you don't have to go through the work, but I think a lot of the connoisseurs want to, make it to suit their taste.
I mean, the first I really like anyone. I don't think it's as common for people to just add herbs. I'm loving them. So this stuff has stuff in the brown herbs here. It's only like 20% THC, and the rest of the jerky. The stuff in the clear herbs is also
They're 100%, there are no cannabinoids in the clear terps we put them on, but they still are cannabis derived, so we're not taking organic terps and remixing them at all.
That's kind of like, so you're scientific, you're a scientist. You seem to know a little bit about science yourself. What's your background?
Just went to school for business and grew like a lot of us, grew in college and sold this on my campus. And then hard times back in the early 2000s got me growing again and slowly progressed into CO2 extraction. I think I had one of the very first machines that are actually X
So what
machines.
did you see at that point in time? The opinion of CO2 was low. You weren't able to produce this product. What made you say something with the CO2 instead of
Those were the days of the 420 wellnesses and stuff where the butane residue was just off the charts. You could smell it in the jars, and that really turned me off to it. I know the process is got much better. In those days, I just was really concerned about selling that kind of product to people. And CO2 was kind of uncharted territory, and I was trying to take the hard route, I think. But I think I saw the writing on the wall someday that CO2 technology wasn't new, it was just new to cannabis, and that we just needed some time to discover how it worked.
I think the key to the production side of it all too is that when you're working with CO2 and you're not thinking about the other like flipping it and doing all this, it's a whole other process that needs to be someone skilled needs to be doing it, or else they can screw it right. I mean, it's literally like that. The wrong person if you're a driver. Like, I create the whole tonight. Yeah, something to do. Most important guy, we just didn't keep everything perfect, and I feel like CO2, since you didn't ever have to worry about that step, and you didn't get caught up in that whole residual bullshit where, it's like, well, it shouldn't be anything in there, really.
No pharmaceutical product is derived from butane. Right? I mean, it's animals are generally CO2, right?
Or ethanol.
And you understand.
That was correct,
That was CO2, that not change. It flies in the face of everything on CO2, right?
Yeah. I mean, again, that was like,
Now you gotta have this one.
Yeah, we brought you that sample to kind of illustrate.
no, it's good to see. It's as important what you pull out as what you end up with.
So this jar, for people at home have no idea what we're doing, it's a little one-mark jar. The aldehyde, which is, it's crap.
It's really, really bad.
It's just a crap.
It's ammonia.
Ammonia.
And you find that in most of your successful distillates.
And how much do you think, how much of that?
Oh, yeah.
How much do you think
Yeah, this much.
Not much.
Not much.
I literally get above 100 terps, 4 to 5% yield off of an hour.
10 mils, test 10 mils of level of groundwater.
And then it will take those off of those terps.
Right, so this would be, for instance, like,
That right there is probably key in the most.
okay, so there's quite a lot of
That's
that.
enough to make a complete weed basis.
And that's what you're getting with a lot of the terps that you see on the market right now that are cannabis drive. Those guys are leaving that in there. They're not going to figure out how to grow up that section of the profile, which gives you stock, heavy stock, sticky stock, smells.
And it's also, but it's also when you, I mean, that's the first thing you see when you see this blend. It's like you get to see when it's finished, you're like, oh, look at the gross stuff, you know what I mean? And you don't even notice it when it's mixed in. You notice it, just didn't know until you pulled it out how much better it can be.
Yeah.
It's like cleaning up, just like cleaning up, really. I mean, once you have a big pile of seeds and all this stuff.
Some of that energy?
How do you feel those switches?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. There's possibilities.
And now what you're gonna have to show is you're gonna have to get on.
Now,
That's exactly. That is
I figure we'll do that last because I want you to get
I wish that would happen.
try
It's
this.
always funny with people here. When you smoke it, really high, you're like, what else?
Try this glue. Try this Gorilla Glue and give you a good. One of the things I've noticed with a lot of terp products out there is they tend to show the 5 terp profile, basically the same 5 terpene flavors. They're common ones like your limonene or your caryophyllines, and what's really nice, you'll see there's a lot of variation in every jar. I think we're pulling pretty much the entire flavor profile from the plant, so you're getting that flavor in its entirety.
Right.
With a lot of the distillation processes that people are using, you're getting terps, but you're getting 8 to 10 in that profile. The ones that pull that are either water soluble from steam or the ones that are concentrating easily. You volatilize a lot of them in those processes, so you end up losing them. With this process, these terps all will test between 30 and 60% terps of 28 tested, but there's probably, there's 200 terps found in cannabis.
Actually,
We're only
3 to 500.
Yeah, I mean, it's endless. So if you could test for them all, I know that these terp
Gotta
profiles
catch
would
them
be
all,
bigger.
man. Gotta catch them all.
Well, and 90%
Turkey
90% of them are the same 20 terpenes, and then the nuances come in the 10% of the rest. So it's a
But
little-
those are in like trace amounts, right?
correct. But collectively, I mean, we could, humans
doing
can.
that one or this one?
This one's ready for you to
Oh,
go.
that he wants
He wants it with
distillate.
chroma. Humans can detect a part per billion
I'll do this one first since he's got
of
drip.
That's the glue.
of
Of
certain-
terpenes,
of,
sure.
Well, of methyl mercaptan, it's rotting flesh essentially. It's what's in propane to make it smell, so we can detect it in a part per billion. So I mean, these are coming up at thousands of parts per million. I mean, they're very.
So when
we're better as a human being, we're better than a GC in analyzing this stuff.
When we're talking about like some of these more, I don't want to call them rare terps, but they are in lower concentrations. So in some sense, they are rare. How much difference are we talking in concentration between like you extract a pound? How much of the common terpenes would you find, and how much of these sort of rare, more fleeting, nuanced terpenes?
There's a lot of variability in that. It's like I said, the same 20 that make up most of it, and then
Is that what you smoked first?
the other
or no?
300 that,
No.
that make up the rest.
That was OG. That was in a pan,
yeah, that was
actually.
OG.
What you smelled was our alchemy on.
That was in a pan, Adam. What you
That smelled
smelled.
really good, that first thing, I'm telling you.
But there, it's a very dynamic pool of molecules, terpenes, and some light, some heat, and bonds will shift, and the pool will change.
Sure.
Drastically.
The other thing is that we're not able to test for a lot of the flavors, the terpenes, the flavonoids, even maybe some esters could be in there. One of the problems, we get, or one of the issues that we have is we'll do an analysis. Maybe 40% terps will be in it, 20% cannabinoids, and then you're wondering what's the other 40%.
Right.
It's hard to answer because they're not yet testing.
It's
for,
all we know is it's something else,
it's
right?
something else, but I suspect it's from that group of 300 terpenes and other flavonoids, sesquiterpenes, monoterpenes, things like that. So as analysis gets better and more sophisticated, we'll get deeper and deeper into these and understand them better. We do this all in house. We do our own in-house analytics. So we're figuring.
Oh,
it
so you're
out.
doing
It
your
takes
testing
time.
and sampling in-house to
Absolutely.
get your results.
For our own R&D, we still need third party
To verify for the law, yeah. But for R&D, you're doing that in-house.
Immediately.
So can you guys test for more terpenes than some of these labs? Can you get more standards, or?
We can, it just takes time and money and expertise. So little by little, we add new terps or new compounds to the matrix, and that'll take time.
Sure,
But
sure.
But and I certainly won't mention names, but as we've found sending the same samples to various companies, the results are shockingly different.
We talk about that. We love names on that.
It's to the point that they're almost not worthwhile. So we're really focusing on finding people academically oriented that really know this stuff, so we can properly GCMS and analyze rather than just spit out numbers for the sake of
That had more body to it, but the flavor was a little weird. It had a little,
Which one was it?
That was the distillate mixed with terps, right?
Mixed
He
with.
didn't put any terps on that.
Did
that
you
was
know-
just pure distillate.
Yeah. It doesn't taste
That was
very
lemon
good. That's
G.
why we put
Oh, that was lemon
that
G
was
mixed with
combo.
distillate.
No, it definitely had it was bouncing back and forth. But there was something about, I think when you got the distillate, you can tell that's closer to what,
just 90% THC. Maybe.
right? Which is like I think the disappointing thing when you're like, well, I can't wait to try this 90 whatever, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, it doesn't really.
It just tastes like chemicals.
it
It tastes
loses,
like a research
it's
chemical.
missing all of the.
It's losing every other component. You
Which-
basically just got THC. That's
Right.
it.
It's the and it is a weird, uncomfortably kind of like it is strong. Comes on like later.
Yep.
Like you hit it, wait about 5 minutes, all of a sudden you're like clammy and weird and kind of like a
So
weird.
you got, what, 4 minutes till you're clammy and weird?
Clammy and weird. No, I even got a little bit of that pre-clammy weird thing off of that, just because it is like it's kind of like the what you need.
He's looking for a dabber or Q-tip
Oh
or
my
something.
God. Q-tip, Dick. What are you looking for? You're killing my
Yo,
deal.
Dude, he's like walking on stage during your set looking
Oh,
for a
bro,
dabber. Mecca.
you
What's
wrecked
going
my
on?
set.
There's like an audience and shit. You can't see them, but they're here.
10,000 people listen right now. 12,000, sorry. Yes.
Yeah, 12,000 right now.
I know. Come on. Now that he's on there, it should be around 15. actually.
25 I'm looking
25.
at.
Oh my God,
Doubled.
it's going up. Just sit here, bro. But yeah,
We don't have dabbers. We have these.
we don't do that.
You want to do one of this? Is that,
Oh,
I
you
can't hear you
want.
without a mic.
Try some Bubba.
Okay. Give him that lemon G.
I don't know, yeah,
Give him that
take-
lemon G.
The Terp Master. Here, take this one.
Here, Terpy.
Yeah. We're going to have to make someone do that. I
Q-tip
think.
that out. Yeah, someone has to do that.
Here's the other side of that.
Oh, that's what he's asking for. He's asking for a Terp dab.
I see. That was one.
Now
of
it
those
makes
that-
sense, and it's relevant to the show, too.
He knew.
Yeah.
Gotta stand over there and smell it. To be fair.
Yeah, it's not. It's actually
That
like
lemon G is pretty.
every
fire.
single person
You tried it
walks
already?
over and is like,
No, this is lemon G is pretty.
Isn't that what's still in there?
pretty great.
This
Pretty great.
was, Gorilla Glue, I believe. Here, hit the glue first.
Yeah, the glue is bomb.
The glue's gritty. Except that
Gritty.
That gas.
gritty
Where's that
taste.
torch?
Torch. There you go. Need to get some more gas.
So I want to talk to you guys about some of what's going on here. We did have some audio problems that are now corrected too, so we're flowing steady. So now we can get into the nitty gritty. Alex, we were talking about. Okay, you kind of saw you had some issues with the butane game early on. You didn't like how impure things were. You didn't want to be producing a product like that, so you decided to go with CO2.
Yep.
How long was it from that producing CO2 that Adam probably wouldn't like till you were like, all right, this is what we got to be making? Let alone when you figured out how to do it. But how long did it take you to be like, this is where we need to be?
It's interesting because, back in those days it was earwax, and then after earwax it was shatter, and
Sure.
then after shatter it was your butters and your whipped stuff. We tried to kind of chase that and make all those things. We made them all, but didn't want to be a Me Too product. We wanted to come up with something different. So really, I think, cannabinoids are ubiquitous. They're, whether you have a good flower or a bad flower, THC is THC, but where
Sure.
you really start to see quality is in the terpenes. So that was really my focus starting in about 2013 was like, okay,
What's the difference between I think I can take a terpene drop and feel better than 3 of those distillate ones, just
Me
because
too.
even though the distillate one will get me higher, it's just the psychological,
all the rest
it's all
of it.
psychological thing of just going.
But this is the thing that we're
I love-
finding is that various cannabinoids, various types of terpenes in amount. Some people like more than others. Alex likes a lot more than I do, for example.
Cannabinoids to
Some people
terpenes
like-
or?
I
Yeah.
like the terpenes
Total-
more. I don't like
Sure.
a lot of cannabinoids. I'm like,
Sure.
my 20% stuff is perfect for me. It sets me straight. When I start getting over 50, I don't like that feeling very well.
Sure.
what I look at these, and this is kind of what we call like a flower in a bottle, because you've got 15 to 20% cannabinoids, which is pretty standard in your flower.
Right.
And that's just right for me. And then you've got this real wide range of entourage happening, whether it's in your body, whether you feel in your arms, your legs, in your head, on the back of your neck. All these terpenes and these different strain, profiles all really do have a unique psychoactive effect.
Yeah, and I think we've kind of noticed it's demonstrated very obvious that everybody's so different. You know what I mean? Like everybody is like, whether it's cannabis, just like smoking certain types of hazes, like haze is a good way to figure out
who's what.
Who's on what side of what fence of the smoke. You smoking to get high, or you smoking it just because you like the flavors and you want to be all because people get real uncomfortable when you smoke a real like a pure haze.
It's not that flavor. It's like a grassier haze.
It's a combination of the flavors, very interestingly weird. Sometimes it's almost too much for people.
Cat piss.
But it's like I explain it as like sweating in the middle of your palms, like that kind of high where you're like, ooh, like you get almost like, I don't know if this is even good. I think this is a little scary. Then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I wish I could get back there. Like once it's over, you're like,
I had an instant with the distillate one time, dabbing it, and it got me so paranoid I literally like hid out in the mop closet for about 30 minutes.
Yeah,
just praying nobody would show up and find me in there. But man, that was just not a comfortable feeling.
That's from just pure THC.
I mean, a lot of people had that with Marinol back in the day, where they would get Marinol and they would never, like, they'd always, every time people told me about it, oh no, it's such an uncomfortable high, it's not nice, it's like all the bad, it's basically all that negative stuff of cannabis. Yeah. And I'm like, well, that's not sounding so great, is it? That's because it's all THC without
the other cannabinoids equalize some of that as well.
Sure.
So when you're going to, we're not a big isolate company. We do the distillates, and we isolate everything because we like to reconstruct.
Yeah.
In specific ratios.
There's some feedback that we're not heard on the live cast.
You're not heard?
That we're not being heard on the live cast.
Get on it.
Let me get on it.
Get on it. They're the most important part. No one wants to hear me.
They are. No, we're just asking questions. Questions without answers are pretty shit.
Yeah. Make sure that they're
let me get you guys talking in your mic so I can make sure I got your levels in here.
Testing.
You just got to talk about it. That's all.
Sorry. I just all of a sudden drew a blank.
Yeah.
Words.
Good. Words.
So here's
Terps.
Adam, I want you to try.
Terps.
This is the Terps. They're the clarified Terps. There are no cannabinoids in these.
Okay.
We've also removed those aldehydes, so you don't have that sock smell. They're going to be not as broad profile. Like these Terps, the raw Terps, you're going to see 24, 25 different terpenes. In the purification process like this.
More piney in this one, seems like.
Yeah, they're much more concentrated, but they're less.
Is your feedback clearing up? Are people telling you it's better, Stephen? Talk right in the mic.
Sorry, I think they were saying they couldn't hear any of us.
Any of us. But I did fix that. That was a problem before. That's fixed now.
No, okay, cool.
That's when you said.
It's in a delay too, so probably that's what that.
Yeah. Well, I politely had my phone in my bag too, and I see everyone else has theirs out. So.
Yeah.
Which one did you do, the Bubba? Mitch?
That one was, I couldn't read what that OG was, the something OG.
The Blessings?
Yeah, Blessings OG, yep.
What'd you think of that one?
I really like, it's one of my favorite ones of it.
Yeah, this almost smells artificial in the sense of like it's so simple, like it's too simplified almost, right? It's like Pine Sol or something. Oh, it's Pine Sol.
I can understand that.
There's a lot of...
the Blessings is really...
What's crazy about cannabis and that particular profile of that kind of like... you can tell it has cleaning capabilities built into it just because of the fact
totally.
That it's like so anesthetic, like it's got like it instantly smells like so many cleaning products. There's like the Pledge one, and there's this one that's a little bit more like Pine Sol.
You start to notice it in all your day-to-day products.
Yeah, and you're like, this definitely could be derived some way, shape, or form, because it would be crazy if they didn't.
They said no audio, all echo.
All echo.
And that was a 407.
Yeah. That was, in the beginning, that was the problem.
Cool.
We got that.
Yeah, so that's not quite as broad, but highly concentrated. I'm all about the raw terps.
Sounds all right.
Yeah.
I can hear my nasalness from here. You know it's good. All right, we don't need to hear the whole show again. Sounds good.
We sound good. I want to make sure you guys sound good. We're doing too much talking. I can't get to the part where you're talking.
Yeah, we don't want you guys to get the word out.
Oh, he said we're good now.
You're good.
Yeah.
We're good. We're good.
Cool.
But speaking of good, I think we should do a shout out now.
Yeah, let's do a shout out.
Yes.
Now we're getting our technical difficulties worked out.
Yeah, we
It's like you get a building so you can build a studio so you don't have to keep breaking things down so they stop getting more fucked up every show, and then you still got to do it when you move in. So let's do shout outs. And I'm gonna do this thing that they do, the fancy screen thing. Maybe not.
fancy screen thing.
I'm working on
Big
it.
shout
I'm
out to Way to Grow, best supplier of grow supply here in Colorado. Locations all over the place to take care of you with all your goods. Right now, what are they doing for a sale this month? The Keep It Cool sale.
Keep it cool.
Would make sense considering.
Yep. Let's bring it up. Bring it right up. There you go. Keep it cool sale.
30% off all can filter products.
Can fans,
and filters, obviously.
Even if you don't need to keep it cool, keep it smelling right. Throw one in your basement. Just keep it clean.
Back in the day, everybody was proud of their smells. I think now everyone's finally figured out that, hey, you know what? Kind of cool to not be the guy who's stinking up
the block.
The whole block,
I like using them just for like smoking. As soon as we had a baby, I was like, let's set up a can fan and a filter in the basement, and then just use it as like an air scrubber for smoking.
Exactly. And also,
don't forget when you go there, use the Adam Dunn Show promotional code. They'll hook you up even more than they already are gonna, which they were already gonna do. So that's pretty handy.
and a big shout out to our buddies over at Incredibles.
Incredibles, our favorite candy. It's just simply very
Can't say candy.
Our favorite
Edible
sweetened
things.
edible.
Sweet edibles.
There you go. So many great flavors all over the place. Whether you're talking about the gummies are good, but it's all about the chocolate bars. The affogato bars, they're espresso, black cherry CBD, blueberry bliss. The firecrackers got what I can't call pop rocks in there. Fireberry bars. That's what really I think is convinced me on Incredibles was the Fireberry bar. When you're gonna put habanero and strawberry in 300 milligram bar, I'm gonna fuck with that company, and that's what got us here to start with. Mile High Mint, of course, Mile Higher Mint up to 500 milligrams THC. Peanut Butter Buddha is delicious. The Monkey Bar is one of my favorites. Pistachio Mint, Strawberry Crunch, Cookies and Cream, and of course the Winter Mint is coming out for the holiday season. You can go to iloveincredibles.com to find out more, and of course click Find a Store right up here, and you can find a store. Boom.
That's what those Find a Stores are really good for.
And of course, big shout out to Dark Horse Genetics and Concentrates.
Covering all bases.
Covering the bases. Loading up slowly here.
You guys are making some.
This is what I wanted to show. The new
and it's made out of
batches.
CO2, guys. It's
Not
terrible.
CO2. No, definitely not CO2. This was my favorite picture of the week. I call this one the Terp Beach. That's the Terp Ocean. It's the Terp Sand. There's the Terp Beach right there. You want to be chilling right there on the Terp Beach. This is going to be hitting the shelves next week. Everything off the new harvest. Tanner's been grinding on the machine, pulling down some really, really remarkable colors and textures. So we're going to be really excited to be putting that out next week for you guys. And of course, big shout out to Jeremy and the whole team at buildthesoil.com. Adam's not doing this anymore.
I am.
No, it's because I'm typing and trying to do it at the same. It's confusing.
Okay.
Of course, our favorite place for organic soil resources, organic information. I mean, even if you don't want to buy anything, go learn how to grow this way. Jeremy would prefer it if you didn't buy it. If you just grew it yourself at home, grew your ingredients, created your own inputs, and didn't spend a dime, didn't spend the shipping. But if you're a little too lazy to be growing alfalfa and comfrey and coconuts and aloe, get it from Jeremy. You're not going to get a better product at a better price, period. That's why we love them. Of course, check them out. Find out more at buildthesoil.com. And of course, big shout out to, I can't type it, Hydroponic Research, makers of Veg and Bloom. No, we are not in Oregon.
Still not in Oregon.
Nope. And of course, it's the most simple, elegant, large-scale production nutrient that we've ever come across. It's the only thing in a jar or bottle that we're endorsing.
Yeah, at this point in time, definitely. And also, remember when you do check what your source water source is, because that's important. They have custom blends for different water
So you'll
sources.
see for your media type and for your water quality. When you get that dialed in, that's going to be the key to making it all work right and making it as simple as that. The plug and play, simple scoop and dump. It's an easily dissolved powder. The Plus Life is going to be boosting with microorganisms. I can go in detail there. They're sold out of Plus Life. We've been hyping it too hard.
Oh no!
The Push is their new foliar spray. This is what
This is our problem. Every time
we hype something, they sell out. Gone. They do still have some Push in stock. That one you can even work in with other systems, and that I've heard is really impressive. Just adding it as a foliar stimulant right before you get heavy into bloom. And of course, the Shine is their bloom additive, both a PK booster and a resin improver. And of course, it's all really simple to dissolve powders. No measuring, mixing, pHing, none of that. Veg and Bloom does it all for you. Check them out at hydroponicresearch.com. Also, big shout out to Grow Stones.
Oh yes, that's what we've been working really hard over here.
Work on it. Make some Grow Stones. Made, of course, out of recycled bottles. The perfect alternative to perlite in your medium. It won't float to the top. It's going to have a better water and air holding capacity, a higher cation exchange capacity.
Lasts forever.
Dust free, of course. You don't have to worry about compacting. You don't have to worry about it crushing up like perlite
floating
does
to the
over time.
top. That's the worst.
None of the issues.
When you water just a little too heavy, and then you just push all that perlite up.
And
Doesn't happen.
they ship all over the place. They got their new Nat Control mix. They've got an aeration cocoa mix. They really have something to match every growing style. So you can find some great solutions for your garden right there at growstone.com. And of course,
Seeds here now.
Seeds here now.
Seeds here now.
Seeds here now.
Have we got big specials from them?
I did not get new specials from them, but we'll go right to seedsherenow.com and check it out.
Go to seedsherenow.com.
Seeds
and
here
also
now.
you can talk about the last week's special, I think, which was...
Do you know it off the top?
Huh?
Do you know it off the top?
No.
You don't know it off the top. You don't know nothing.
No, it was their VIP text club thing they were doing.
Oh, that's right. Well, he was supposed to tell us who won.
Well, maybe he'll call in.
Maybe he will.
Tell us who won. I'll send him a text right now saying tell
Oh,
us.
and hey, let's say shout out to Mephisto Genetics because we mentioned them on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Someone mentioned it to them, and they reached out to us. So that's pretty cool.
We like that. We like that.
Yeah, it's good to hear that. And they're not in the U.S. even, so that's even better.
We're crossing
getting around
international borders.
Yes. So right now, Mephisto is featured, as well as DJ Kush. Now, the new exotic genetics, you can go ahead and pre-order the new drops. I'm positive those are coming out soon. New archive stuff on deck. Top Dog's new stuff. Check it all out at seedsherenow.com. 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 Boom. All right, Dunsky, we got to go back to the show.
Got to go back to the
Do I
show.
have to take your phone away from you till the end of
No, I'm
class?
trying to keep things rolling. We got an event going on. Do you know, but you didn't mention the event, by the way.
Oh.
It is movie night here. So if anybody is in Denver area and they want to come down and check out some cool stuff, come on down to
The Harder They Come is playing, yeah?
Harder They Come.
Irene Movie Night,
If you're going to do
hosted
Irene
by-
Movie Night, you have to start with Harder They Come.
Hosted
That
by
is a
Nicotine and Burnt MD.
Yeah, of course. And it's going to be $5 at the door.
$5 at the door.
Proceeds
whole
go
big
to
Gorilla Healer.
Gorilla Healing, exactly.
There's going to be some booths. There's going to be some big projections.
Oh my God.
DJs,
Hundreds of
Jamaican food. It's going to be good.
Yeah. It's the Harder They Come, so we got to make sure we have
Yeah.
some Red Stripe.
Little yard vibe going on.
Some
Yeah.
ginger beer.
Ginger beer I'll stick around for.
See?
I like ginger beer
Exactly.
a lot. It's probably my favorite drink.
Hey, look at that. The noise stopped.
Yeah, I know Vinny turned the air off.
Did you turn the air off, Vinny?
Yes.
Good job. You sure he did? Oh, wow.
Yes, he just turned the air off. I watched him do it.
Okay.
All right.
That was amazing.
Cool. They can hear us now, so it sounds like it's going well.
Thank you, sir. Keep those grow stones rolling.
Keep those grow stones rolling.
You like
All
that?
right.
You like
So back to these terps here.
that? Back to these. Let's talk about these terps.
You
We need a gauntlet. We need a gauntlet.
Who dropped that,
Try this
Adam?
face off before you start talking.
I thought that
Terps, and, what was this?
What was this one? Gorilla Glue?
I think that was the glue. Yeah, that was the last one.
Yeah, that was
Take that.
Nick,
Do that one.
do that one.
Do that one.
Do that. Oh, you know I get peer pressure now. Wait, where's Vinny now?
Peer pressure. Make Vinny do it.
No, I was gonna say
Make Vinny do the yucky one. No.
it'll stop him in his tracks, and we need him. I need him right now.
Yeah, you need him moving. You
Yeah,
need him
gotta
moving.
keep him moving.
This
So-
mic does sound so much better than all the others.
Why?
I don't know. I didn't do anything different.
He's been too nice to give him the dirty trap.
Yeah. No one's
I
getting the
don't know
dirty
if
one.
which one that is, but we'll find out.
I think that was the glue. So let's talk about, once you decided, as we said, it took you a few years to realize that this would be the way to make a distinct product, that this was the goal. If you were going to do CO2 extraction, you could fractionate. You already knew that. You said 2013, right?
Yep.
And yet we're sitting here 2016, and this product really just came out this summer, right?
It did. We just released the Terp product this summer. We kind of kept it on the DL. The reason really was I had problems replicating it every time. So as soon as I started working processing deals, I was a little uncomfortable because one day I would, one extraction I would get the terps like this.
I don't know if that was Gorilla Glue because that tasted really flowery and more flowery than the last.
Actually, that was the Blessings OG.
Blessings OG, yeah.
Smelled really
I like
good.
that a lot. Yeah.
So yeah, I had a hard time replicating it. I knew the theory worked. I knew that theoretically I could get it to
And that's supposed to be the CO2's
repeatable.
like thing is the big, it's so
Replicable.
production style. You should be.
It is absolutely. It's now perfected to where I can do this every single run.
Now,
Without
can you
question.
do this with? It sounds like from what you were saying, a lot of the issue you were running into was like all this different starting material. You're running processing for all these different gardens, so there's not consistency in your input. Is that? Are you running only from your own material
we do
now?
run from our own material, but we basically just set an initiative to source the best material, and so we've got some great grow partners all over the state who give us premium top quality bud. Of course, the input has a lot to do with the output, and I wouldn't want to kid anybody and say you can turn shit to gold. But if you have good starting material, you can especially
Well,
guys
you
who are
can get a
growing
lot
for
of it. You
resin.
definitely get a lot of this.
Yeah, plenty of that.
Plenty of that.
Yeah,
You can turn shit to
definitely.
that any day of the week. We
Yeah,
get
and that's
massive amounts of it.
I'd like to see the guys out there that are doing terp extractions.
Now, could somebody take that, you think,
out.
and further somehow turn that into something more palatable?
Believe it or not, actually, if I clean that up more, it'll be very aromatic. It's just
Really?
It's just that dirty sock smell is so offensive.
But you would have
there
almost,
are
but you'd
also
end up with
very
just
good,
like,
very aromatic terps in that. But
I mean,
they're
you would
just-
lose
they're
so much
masked
that it would
by
be-
that really strong smell. So that we take off of everything off through our chromatography techniques. We'll take and isolate the bad stuff that we don't want. There's other compounds that have like a sulfur odor, things like that. We'll pull those off, and then what the consumer gets is really that full profile with all those unwanted compounds.
I mean, it's
taken
similar.
out.
This is like how people don't, when people finally understand that, why do you use so many screens when you're doing bubble hash? It's like, well,
Keep that stuff out.
It's you get the dirty screen next to the good screen, and imagine if you didn't have the dirty screen there, it would all be in. You'd never ever see that. You know what I mean? So I think until we actually broke it down into like 7 or 8 different screens, we were always kind of like getting a good taste, but we're not understanding how much contaminants were in there. And then we start pulling them out. You start saying like, okay, well, your yields have gone down exceptionally, but with that, your quality is finally where it needs to be.
So speaking of which, that's a great segue. You're killing it on the segue.
I'm
there.
Segway King these days.
Segway
I don't even
King,
know.
Adam Dunn.
Do I say Segway now?
No, you don't
Okay.
even need to.
Segway. No, that's
You could do
that's
it.
what I usually do. I blow the whole idea.
Yeah, it's not a smooth transition usually, but this time you can't believe how smooth this segue
Forget
is.
what it was.
No, it's talking about yields.
So if you like the gas, that face-off is pretty gassy.
Oh yeah, we love face off. Let's
It's,
do that.
It's super tasty.
So, yields obviously not as big as solvent extraction, right?
Not at all. Actually, we're ripping 25% yields in 3 hours on
So you're getting
30 minutes. We're doing about 30 minutes a pound now. The technology's really improved from.
So when you're saying 25%, that's mixed cannabinoids, terpenes, and this
That's gonna
yucky
be-
stuff that you
it's
got to
gonna be
take
a
out.
25% raw yield.
Okay.
We did the numbers. We end up with about a 15% productized yield.
Okay, that's
When it's all said and done, you
That's
lose
what's
some in
interesting.
packaging. You lose some of the wet. Obviously you're taking wax.
15 is still respectable though.
15.
because,
I mean, plenty of people are doing that on
12% was
butane.
always like the hash
The
maker
threshold.
kind of like.
Well, remember.
Seemed like the rule of thumb. No matter what you did, you ended up around 12% of sellable or
Of good,
smokable,
yeah.
and you might have gotten 20, but you had to clean it up. And you ended up around
And that's
12.
relative as well. 24% of 50% cannabinoids or 12% of 95% cannabinoids
Yeah.
is the same yield.
right.
But you've got all of those other undesirables, your fats and lipids, some of the sugars and some other compounds that through the refinement process are removed, which in turn it concentrates the good stuff.
So now with the waste stuff that you're pulling out, like, is there any other value to them medicinally or?
The waxes are possibility for topical products. In the distillation processes, the waste material there is we analyze it. It's less than 2% cannabinoids in those,
But
so
there's
that goes
still
in the trash.
cannabinoids that have to get thrown out.
Sure, there's 2%. We can spare it. I think we got enough here in Colorado.
Yeah.
Or we can
Of
spare
course,
it.
we're always working on efficiency and maximizing. You've got customers that, if they're selling a $40 gram of something, even 4 or 5 extra grams adds up over the course of time.
Sure.
So, we want to make sure that we're maximizing our yields without compromising the quality of the product.
Absolutely. And now, do you guys go right from dry flower to?
We do a little bit of
Extraction?
both. We've got There's stuff like this that is even more next level than this, but we kind of have a 3-month strategy. Every 3 months we release something new, something more innovative.
So if you're showing us this now, we can trust you have something next level that we're not seeing yet.
Yeah, we've got a new product called Genesis that we're working on, and that'll be out just in the beginning of the year. It's another one of those trying to make sure we can replicate it time in and time out.
Sure.
That's going to incorporate some live processes and some different techniques that we're working on in-house with chromatography. And
is the end
CO2.
result going to be more similar to sort of this, where you have a cannabinoid sort of solution of cannabinoids and terpenes?
Yes, what it's going to add is this is dry material, so we'll do flour, but it's dry material.
So you're losing some terpenes.
The only complaint I love great criticism and feedback, because it just drives me to fix that problem. And actually, good old Rye Pritchard was commented that he likes the live flavor still, and that he's not getting that sensation from these terps. So of course, when he said that, the first thing I did was start working on the next stage of development, which is incorporating that element of live resin into this process. And it has its challenges, but it certainly is doable. And we've been making some outrageous stuff with live product.
Yeah, I think that the whole live resin thing though too is it is capturing a moment in time. It's like a picture of that exact profile, that moment, but stability wise, it's almost fucking impossible to make it like to where
Shelf stable.
Yeah, and it's just like kind of where as a hash producer, you kind of always have to think about not just the first sale to the first guy. You have to think of, especially now that we're in a commercial, is, back in the day it was like hand a bag over to some dude and walk away. Everybody walk away. You know what I mean? And when the guy got home and rode his bike home or whatever, in the sun, and then by the time he got home, he opens it up and it's a big blop of boop. And that was kind of where, even back in the day when the first bit of water hash came onto the market, I was talking with Rob Clark, and he literally like looked over at me and went, "This is like, do you know how many people are going to get like murdered over like stuff that is wet and weighs a certain amount, and then it dries out by the time they get to wherever they go to, and they'd be all pissed off and like, what?" Because people just weren't understanding that, like they're getting all these crazy yields, and they're getting
most of that's water.
You're like, hey guys, relax. You got to dry that shit properly.
You got to remember that.
And like in Holland, for instance, it's like very wet anyway, so shit never get dried properly, no matter what you did. So people, and if they had like, before people understood what a full dome was or what real bubble was, when it was just like, oh, look at this bubble, and I was like, that's water, dude. And that was familiar to me of when I first smoked CO2. I was like, I'm getting that water in the back of my throat kind of thing going on, where I was like, and it was leaving a lot of black ash, and it was not, something's wrong here, you know what I mean? So I think that's where the evolution probably came into effect,
Yeah, unfortunately, the CO2 examples in the past weren't from people that really cared about the end product. We were really small for most of our existence. We started out just selling CO2 in our store on Federal, so you couldn't even really get our product unless you came to our store. We since obviously have branched out into the wholesale market, but we didn't get a lot of reach back in those days out to people. I remember Nick had tried a lot of our product back in the old days and was a fan. It was interesting because those were the beginning of the CO2 tech we were working on. It's been an evolution for sure. I really I think as we get into a broader marketplace, a global marketplace, scalability is a real concern. I also know that as we're trying to get new states and new places and regulative authorities to allow for marijuana and marijuana consumption, and their concerns are the things that everybody talks about. It's the safety, workplace safety, consumer safety. That I think what I really wanted to hone in on was a scalable method that was safe, that we could replicate. And the great thing about CO2 is no matter what size you are, whether it's a 20-liter vessel or a 100-liter vessel, the same parameters do the same thing. And so I feel really confident going forward as this progresses.
Has there ever been any kind of like major fuck-ups in the CO2 world?
Like a CO2 explosion?
Yeah, because you
There's
hear
a lot
about
of
it with
pressure.
DHO, but there's so much more pressure under CO2, like 10,000 pounds compared to...
They're rated
Of
for like double
non-flammable
the
material.
the pressure threshold.
Well, yeah,
so.
the flammability is not the issue. Sometimes is but
Well, yeah,
pressure
but
can.
certainly, but there's pressure in both cases.
Has anybody ever heard of any fatalities on the scene? Or
Not in the
heard of-
cannabis industry, but I've heard of CO2. You know, things happen in the past. I mean, you could type it in and see it someplace in time. There was.
I mean, anything
some
with
sort of issue
with tens of thousands of pounds of pressure and things like that are going to be.
I had an instance though that was pretty funny when I first got my CO2 extractor. I had depressurized it, in the old days, and instead of leaving the valves open, I was really naive. I closed after I thought it was depressurized. I closed the valves, but little did I know there would be further expansion because of the cold CO2 that was still in the system. So, anyways, I started to unbolt the system and didn't realize that pressure had built up in the system, and the lid blew open and all the dry particulate blew in my face, and I inhaled it and I got big clouds of pot dust in my lungs, man. It
Sure.
was pretty horrible, and ever since then I've been a little bit asthmatic.
Oh, and you learned
To say
something
the
about how
least.
gases work too. Like-
Yeah, exactly. Those were the days I knew nothing about it.
So, Stephen, have you been with Alex since the beginning?
No, I'm a relatively new addition. I joined him just shy of just over a year ago.
I'm going to ask you to get closer to the mic too. 'cause
Sorry,
you have-
I joined
there
just
you go.
over a year ago.
So you have a PhD,
I do.
If you just turn that sideways, like we did.
and you didn't.
You're gonna talk
Did
very-
you go become a doctor so you could extract terps?
No,
No.
no. Life's taken a bit of a turn for me.
So what's your background?
So I'm my PhD is molecular biology, emphasis in neuroscience. I'm primarily an Alzheimer's researcher, but since I got my PhD in 2009, I've spent a couple of years doing opiate receptor work, a couple of years doing melanoma, and now I'm back to Alzheimer's disease and have a drug in clinical trial that we've been working on for about 10 years, and then about 4 or 5 in preclinical at the University of at Anschutz Medical College.
And then on the side you pull terps.
Well, no. So basically, I started with Alex. So I mean, it does all tie together. But I started with Alex, even sort of part-time as I phased out of the university. I still am a consultant with the university, but I'm certainly full-time with Alex now, and I've just always had a lot of passion for the plant, and to be able to tie in what I've been doing professionally with what I've just have enjoyed so much my entire life, medically and recreationally.
We understood as a company and kind of in our vision that we started to understand the plant pretty thoroughly, that we can deconstruct pretty much every component of a cannabis plant. But what we didn't know and have absolutely no experience with is the actual physiology of the people consuming it.
Sure.
So we felt like, we understood the plant, but we didn't understand human chemistry. And the best way for us to begin to understand that was to bring someone like Stephen in and tie the two together. And so that's what we're working on the medical side. We really work on physiology, cannabinoid receptors. Entourage effect is a big key for us.
So are you guys doing in-house research on this?
Absolutely.
So this is how we've decided to approach this is that I know firsthand clinical trials, firsthand benchtop research and preclinical trials, and it's a prohibitively expensive process. So for us to be doing it would be time and cost prohibitive really, but to be apprised or a part of it is something we have to be. So for that, what we're able to do now is really start to hone in on sort of which diseases we're interested in and which groups we want to do collaborative research with. So really part of that will be academic and part of that will be probably in-house as we move forward, based on legality, based on borders, and I can bore you with some of the
No,
research.
do that. That's what we're here
We
for.
have a little mouse room, and we swim mice in a little pond. And
Really?
No, I'm just kidding.
Well, actually, no.
And then you give them terps,
Actually,
and then
you know what?
Terps and then-
Actually, Alex is
Swimming in terps.
Alex is not in any way wrong about that. So basically, what we can do is with the university, we can do some of those animal experiments, and not just sponsor them, but actually
My wife would not be happy with that.
provide.
No, they're terps. They're not doing bad things to the animals.
Well, there's
Cool.
but there's
Dripping
the
terps
clinical
on it?
trials as
Yes.
well, is that we can offer a standardized product. So we can be a part of those studies, and also be a part of the what we call basic or biological or biochemical research, and work on how the receptor itself, how the entourage is working. Because one thing that we really pride ourselves on is there's just a lot of talk, a lot of cures, a lot of feelings, a lot of time of day to take the product, and it's a lot of BS.
Well, that's
Well, the thing about it, again, because it's patient to patient and it's like product to product, and
very
it's like
subjective.
it's so hard to like pin. Like I'm always scared when I hear people trying to give advice on certain strains for certain conditions and stuff, and I'm like, I'll try it, but please don't think that has really any scientific relativity.
even if it has worked for someone in the past,
And it's so
it's similar
Doesn't
situation.
necessarily mean it's going to work for everyone the same way.
Yeah, but I mean, having said that, there are a few strains out there that definitely are, pretty much. Well, it definitely seems to work for Crohn's disease. You know what I mean? And that's maybe specific for that particular illness. But
What do you think of that face-off?
That is my new favorite one. I know I say that for every single one.
This is your big line.
No, the total terp concentration, like the amount of still tingling on my tongue,
It gets better on the exhale too. You'll sit here and it just keeps
it
getting
definitely
better
is.
and better. Yeah.
That's why. That's what's like the nectars. You asked me about the nectars, the headband that they did.
Mm-hmm.
You would take that and you would just taste it more and more and more for the next like 45 seconds.
What I know,
minute and a half.
it's like it's in the back of your sinuses,
Sure.
and that's when it's actually like.
Really developing.
Seeds here now wants to know won what was the contest?
We were doing a giveaway, weren't we, last time?
I thought we had a giveaway.
I'm not
check.
looking at my phone. to check.
I got to do that sometimes because our sponsors are asking questions.
That's true. We got to keep them happy.
Got to keep those sponsors happy.
What do we got here?
I don't know, unless you didn't hear me. If you didn't hear
Ghost
me, I'm
dog.
gonna
So what's the
ask
ghost dog?
you.
Is that
That's from, I think that's a Ghost OG and a Star Dog, but I'm not 100% sure that's a Natty Rems cut.
okay? So we have a Ghost Train Haze Snow Dog, also called Ghost Dog.
That
Confusing.
could be that too, man. It might be that as well. I get
This one's wild. This
Totally
smells like
confused.
hoisin sauce or something.
hoisin sauce.
Look at this
Yeah.
guy. Look at this guy.
Do we lose? Oh, look who it is.
Oh, it's Mr. Boyd MD.
Run MD. Do we lose our paper towel? Our paper turple towel?
Turple towel syndrome.
Turple people eater.
Sounds like carpal tunnel, but it's turple.
So let's maybe shift and get a little more scientific about it, nitty gritty. So as I like to say, sorry, terp burping. That's a phrase we coined last time.
We coined it actually as
What?
well. in
Well,
Poland.
I stand corrected on that Ghost Dog. It actually came from Mark Rowe. My guys are listening, and they're like, "Dude, that's not from that."
That's not
Took
from that.
shots of
Get your shit straight.
vodka with terps on them, clear terps.
See how quickly you can just change the course of
Turp
time and
burps
space.
tonight.
Right? Yeah, wrong
Don't
props.
give the wrong people credit, man.
Please don't.
Thanks, Alan. Appreciate that, buddy.
It's good when you get straightened. You gotta have your phone because people straighten you out. That's the problem. Otherwise, you're just
man.
talking shit.
You don't
Ghost
care.
You don't care.
Making
You're
the wrong
Mitch.
claims.
Your mic
My
sounds
phone's
the best.
right here. My phone's right here. My mic sounds great.
Your
I'm
mic sounds
taking
great. So you're
terps.
like, I can say whatever I want. My mic sounds great.
I clearly have a terp deficiency because I was in such a worse mood before I started having all these terps. Do you remember how bad a mood I was in when I walked
you
in?
were like lame.
Bad mood. And
was
then I
like,
got
this is gonna be a
tacos.
great
I was
show.
like, I need tacos and terps. Tacos and
I don't know
terps.
about that. It's,
So
I'll clean that one.
what's kind of guiding your process of you can break this thing down, right? You have this, you do your extraction, you have pretty much a very high fidelity representation of what was in that plant. It's 20 some odd percent cannabinoid, terpenes, you got your waxes, you got your other stuff, etc. Now what's sort of philosophically guiding the direction you're going to break this down in? Do you want to break it down to as much stuff as possible to mix it back together? Do you want to break it down into sort of like groups of things?
We call it a deconstruct, reconstruct.
Okay.
The intention there is just to understand every element in the plant. We spend a considerable amount of time just R&D, dissecting every component, testing it, retesting it, testing again.
Feeding it to the mice.
Exactly.
That's what the goal is soon, yeah.
And that is the goal.
Oh yeah, it's all about feeding mice terps. That's all. This your entire.
I guess
quest.
the guiding principle is really just innovation and discovery. I think those are probably the biggest key words for us. Obviously, product integrity is a big factor.
Well, I mean, one of the things that the driving force of this whole cannabis industry has been not for everybody. A lot of people, it's been money. That's usually the driving force of everything. But for a lot of people, the driving force has been helping people out and seeing it work. You know what I mean? And being like, really? Cancer-free? Like, what
Yeah.
the hell?
I didn't think that was gonna happen.
It's amazing.
I gave you some stuff out of my garden. You know what I mean? So I think the fact that people have seen that and then they get addicted to that, like, just as like people who grow weed get addicted to getting other people high more than themselves because they love to watch people just passing out on their shit or whatever. and they get high off of watching those people get high. You know what I mean? And so it's the same thing with making patients feel better. It's like it gives the guy who's a grower or who's processing a rush, obviously, because they're like, holy shit, really? Like what?
I cured your cancer.
Oh my god!
There's
And
a
then
lot of
that, you know, and that's
satisfaction
a weird feeling because
It's a
we're
tough
not
claim to make.
we're not supposed to do that. You know, we're not even supposed to be able to do that. That's like what? And the fact that it's happened thousands of times is testament to the fact that we know, yeah, the plant has a shitload of secrets built in. Now we're just trying to like poke it with sticks and make it do stuff. You know what I mean? Like, all right, now, okay, you cured cancer. Now what can you do? Like poke it a couple more times. Oh, there it goes.
So we're,
You know?
we're bridging that understanding of the basic physiology with product development.
Sure.
Moving forward.
And
So that's kind of a specific focus of yours.
so you're the stick poker.
He's the stick poker. Yeah,
You're the
that's how that
stick
works.
poker. That's your job. Poke
We all
petri
wear a lot of
dishes.
hats, I'd say.
So you're in how many? You're in one state only, or you guys are multi-state?
No, we're just in Colorado.
Okay.
Obviously, like a lot of us, are always exploring those opportunities. A lot of things, come and go.
Sure.
But the goal would be definitely, worldwide, nationwide expansion at some point.
Yeah, I mean that's obviously.
For us.
Well, I think the funny part is everybody's like trying to figure out their way, and then at some point it's just going to flatten out, and everything's going to be like, now it's national, and everyone. But that's the problem is when you wait until then, you're so far
You
behind
can't
the
get
ball.
in then.
There's
Yeah.
no getting in at that point. The doors are like the last door just got locked. You know what I mean? Like, nah.
Colorado's the R&D place, I think, for most everyone, and it's where you, as you say, you develop your processes and your methods, and you streamline them, and then you make them so that they're turnkey in a new market, and that you can hit the ground running. Because here it's a grind. It's a lot of
Well,
competition.
we're the
a lot
New
going
York
on.
of cannabis. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? As
Yeah,
far
yeah.
as you can make it in Colorado, because the thing is, California is California. It's too big.
It's too spread
big.
out. Yeah.
It's too big to like make it into one place. It's like, okay, NorCal or Southern Cal or Central Cal. You know what I mean? And at a certain point, they're never going to mix up. You know what I mean? Like NorCal's never going to be like Southern Cal. And Central California is going to be quiet about it, and they're going to take over the whole fucking market. You know what I mean? That's pretty much what's going to happen. Like NorCal's going to be like, "Whoa, we're the guy." No, you guys were all backyard farmers. We're fucking ag. You know what I mean? We're the ag people who are just like switch crops. You know what I mean? They're not going to have to reinvent the wheel. They're like, we have a supply chain that reaches from Central California to the fucking Maine and Florida and everywhere in between. We just switch it for weed, you know what I mean? And that's the thing is we can't do that now legally, but we will be able to
At some point.
within 4 years, for sure. I mean, it's going to have to because there's going to be nothing left. There's going to be no states
It'll be
left
funny.
that.
When I go to the West Coast, like Oregon, Washington, it's like there's so much pride in Oregon grown or Washington grown. I envision, when all the continental U.S. and beyond is able to export and import and so forth, you'll definitely be like Idaho potatoes. It'll be
Sure.
Well,
California weed
the climate. I mean, it's so arid here, and with the altitude. I mean, it's just things are very different here.
Yeah. The same plant grows so differently in, all those different places. And that's, KTI somewhere back there, but he found a news article a couple weeks ago that
Oh, we didn't talk about the town that got weed infested water. That was such a bunch of
saw
we
it
didn't
on
do
Facebook
news.
this
No, we didn't even do news.
No, because we jumped right into
I know,
it.
but that is pretty stupid. Did you heard about that, right?
I
Well,
read
that's
it
the
today
guy.
on,
That's not possible, right? We
That's-
have two science guys here.
Yeah, come on, science
Can't be
guys.
weed in
Hey
the
man,
water.
they test
THC
for
in the water.
Roundup. They did a study in California. 100% of the vineyards, even the organic vineyards, tested positive for.
But can they have
coffee.
THC in the water?
And
How?
they did a study in the Columbia River, found trace amounts of cocaine.
Sure, I believe that.
There's
the
cocaine in
water-soluble-
all the water.
All the water
It's-
soluble
it's-
things are going to be easier. But there
That's
could
why I
be-
don't believe
could be
THC.
Trace amounts technically.
But what would, the funny part, they said that well tampering was.
Yeah,
seems to
that
be-
there was signs of
negligible.
tampering at the well.
So like, what would somebody
Some guy's
do?
like, you know what I want to do?
I need to put THC in water for everybody down
Well,
here.
let's think about that.
I wish
actually.
you could do it. I mean,
For you, buddy, you're the doctor.
could it happen? I don't think it happened.
Once
Well,
it
there
goes-
are-
the
absolutely.
source of all of that in the water is from people's waste. So peeing and crapping it into the sewers and then on. That's how that gets into the
That's-
Prozac.
What-
So-
what-
plus
that's
runoff
sure, but
and
they
stuff
said
like
this looked like tampering specifically. So how could I don't see the motivation where someone's like, you know what, I'm going to take about $5,000 worth of distillate and I'm going to pour it in this well.
It was
well,
probably
they would have to
road.
solubilize it
Probably-
somehow.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyways, they would have to.
They'd have to be like a step ahead of everybody. Right
Yeah, yeah,
now.
and that's why I am offering $5 a gallon for a gallon from
We should go down there and bottle that water and start selling it from
So they
Colorado.
don't
Weed
have
water.
they don't have normal water. They're like, oh, we need water,
Can of
so we
water.
just send them normal water,
Yeah.
and then they just fill it with tap water and return it to us,
Sure.
right?
Yeah, that sounds
That's
like
what
a
we,
plan.
we get filtered water. It's like I'll get super filtered water, RO water for them, and they give us tap water back.
Yeah, because I read the story and and it's funny too because I liked all the the different comments and like Douglas Marvin was like,
So some of
and
these I've never
what?
tried.
That was good. But last one was that?
Ghost dog?
That was
Yeah,
good.
that ghost dog was good.
That was good. That. See, I think the thing about this is it's so satisfying on the around at that initial flavor part that you don't even give a fuck if it gets you high or not. You're just like,
Well, you
this is
know-
great.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like,
It's great
If you're going to
flavors.
do the
Flavor.
buffet,
compared
you
to
don't wanna
like
get
chasing
the-
it, compared
Yeah.
to chasing it because you're like,
try all the flavors if they were all 90%, you know?
Well, that's exactly it. Like, I'd rather, if I'm going to do
I could
200 flavors, I'd rather do it with this than Debs.
hell yeah, way more because this has the ability to do that and stay pretty much even keeled. It's
20%. It's not nothing, but
No, but yeah, it's perfect. By the time you did 200 of them, you'd be freaking
you're
all
great,
you'd
yeah.
be like,
Right.
Do you
I'm
guys
high.
feel like a cumulative effect?
I think I'm high. What I'm noticing is that I have yet to have a point where I do a dab and there's not a flavor already in my mouth still. You know what I mean? So like,
you haven't cleansed your
Palate
palate.
cleanser, yeah.
have
gotta
it, which
figure
is
out how to
fine.
do
I
it.
like that. I'm actually more happy to have it not be able to be palate would be like the opposite, where you're just like, ugh,
You know, the flavor's gone, yeah.
gone.
Yeah, you get an interesting texture,
They linger.
layered texture of flavor.
We should have gone sorbet.
That's what we did. We had a
That's what we did for Terp Quest.
Terp Quest.
What we want to
As
do
you've
is
learned, obviously, through Rye, probably. is
we're trying to
sorbet.
figure out who and when to do a little kind of invite-only type tasting where you can go to a number of stations, have the terp analysis, because what we found is really fun is like you take a dab and you taste it and you're like, what is that? And then you look at the analysis and you go, oh my god, it's predominantly caryophyllene.
And then if you taste another one with caryophyllene, you start to
And
be
then
able
you
to
start to
identify
tie
it.
them
Exactly.
together and
That's
identify
really
it.
cool.
Yeah, that's fun.
Well, we happen to have a little space, this little event space.
That's
Yeah,
true.
let's talk about that because we've been thinking of how we can host a party like that. I think there's so much to cannabis that's the user experience, and it goes beyond how high you got. It's,
Sure.
It's understanding the flavor profile. It's understanding the extract that you're smoking, and understanding the experience you're having. Not just having the experience, but tying it to something.
Well, it's all like biofeedback. Like you can't articulate it, you can't pick it out until you've seen it, and then you pick it out every damn time. You don't need the chart anymore. You're like, oh, this is beta caryophyllene. And
Well, it's the same as when the first time you figured out what CBD was. You're like,
oh, that
oh,
cherry
that-
flavor,
that's
that's
the thing I'm
CBD.
looking for. Now I can pick it out in like,
And now you know every time these taste it, you're
Oh,
like,
I-
I know what that is.
yeah, no, you'll be like, does this have CBD? And they're like, I don't know. And then like a month later, they're like, dude,
that
you called
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
You're
Adam,
like,
you gotta do this, Oj.
You're like, of course I called it because it's like the most obvious
Tastes
flavor.
like CBD.
ever. It's like you can't disguise that cherry flavor, you know.
And
Look, we got the whole family over
Yeah.
there working like that. KTI's mom and
I also feel like that's what I was saying before about it's like fractionating your high. Like you could start to have this experience and be like, I've had this kind of high before from this kind of strain, and now you're understanding what aspect of that was
And
that.
it's not
part
the
of high.
indica sativa crap that we've been fed.
Dude,
either.
indica sativa is like my biggest fucking beef in the world. Because they don't exist. None of us has smoked indica or sativa, so let's start with that.
if anything, we've done like maybe a 75, 80%, something like that. Something close.
Right.
But the chances of us having
And then even those names, those guys, when Linnaeus and Lamarck were like, oh, cannabis sativa, cannabis indica, they weren't smoking it and being like, this one makes me really awake, this one makes me really sleepy.
No, they were like, tell the bud tenders.
yeah.
Typical
It's just-
characteristics
I
of the
think it
plant.
was just because of region. So actually, from what I understand, there really isn't a. I don't know which one.
There's no sativa and indica's afghanica.
That's
so
it. That's it. Exactly.
Sativa's extinct and
Afghanica,
indica's really
and
afghanica.
ruderalis
From
is
what I
what's-
understand,
it's all indica.
It's purely identification from growing.
G.
Indicas are tighter, condensed.
Yeah, that had more of the chalky,
and
the
sativas
chalky
are
vibe
spindly
to
and
it.
thin, really.
That OG chalk.
And it is just morphology,
It's
and it has
morphology,
nothing to do. Well,
phenotype,
What's
yeah.
that
but now
one that
here's
was like-
where it comes down to
What's the blessing
genetics,
one? I
and
wanna
where
try that
there
again,
is a
guys.
little
Yeah,
truth
was
to
that a
it.
little fruity, but
Is
yeah,
that
like weird, just like
And it's
Yeah.
funny because some people
Almost
get
like
close to it,
non-chompa.
but then they fall off, right? Like, but what it really is all right. So these different genetic lines in different environments are going to produce different terpenes, and that's what's going to give you the effect. And that's why it's not that it's indica or sativa or it's from this region of the world or whatever. It's that it has those terpenes in it, and that's what makes it sleepy.
Right. And I mean,
Love the
if
KTI.
you-
Literally
if you-
does everything.
It's definitely
everything I said. Like
mixed
I'm watching what he brings
combination
in. Perfect.
So here's what
of
I want you to
terpenes.
do.
It's not limonene that does one thing. 'Cause, I
Right.
mean, if you look at research, on limonene, it's not the amount of limonene in cannabis
So-
that has an effect.
That is the purified non-cannabis or no cannabinoid Maui Wowie, and this is the Maui Wowie Raw. So try them both. They both came from the same extraction. One was just purified and the cannabinoids were removed, and the other wasn't.
These the same.
It's they're the same. It's kind of a cool.
So it's just punctuated
it's a
sort of
cool
differently.
experiment.
Yeah, the
It's-
difference
Smell
is
completely different. They smell completely different.
Yeah.
not
it came-
completely, but they smell
They're
different.
just
Yeah.
punctuated differently.
Very-
Same exact
yeah.
extract, same source material, same extraction. Just the raw
Yeah.
didn't go through the secondary process that the clear went through. And it's amazing to
No,
me to
you're
see
right.
such a
There's definitely
difference.
there's something in there that's the same, but
This
Yeah,
is
it's-
sweeter. It's
yeah.
more rounded,
But it's
smelling.
worth
This
dabbing
one's
them
sharper.
and
Yeah.
getting them, and
yeah,
then
this is more like and
putting
it's-
them together is fun too.
Yeah, this has got more just like a real simplified.
So how do you recommend people put it together? Just drop of one, drop of the other, sort of shake it up, and then
Yeah,
mix?
like I said, we like the nectar collector style because of the ability to have
Mix it
your
in
little
the
dish,
dish.
and you can. Mix
Let's do it
things.
their way. Let's do it their way.
Do it their way.
We'll do it their way. When in Rome, these guys know what they're doing.
It's nice that way, just because you can't really have an accident
Sure.
on a rig if you drip too much, or you can't really mix it in there while it's hot. You
Right.
know?
Look at KTI with the one arm.
One arm.
arm KTI. Go
So KTI, by the
KTI.
way, back in the mix of things after, was it 2 or 3 weeks?
3 weeks ago, maybe.
3 weeks out
Yeah.
from his bike accident.
Crashed his bicycle.
And it's like his hands are really messed up, man. That's a lot of like padding on his hands and wrists and all that.
He got fucked.
You can put some of the dirty sock in there.
Yeah, a little drop of the dirty sock for him. Make him a nice little
Full
cocktail.
plant profile, man. That's what I had somebody tell me with their clear terps. That's just the full plant profile, man.
So, can you extract anything as your starting material? Oh, well, let's start with, can you extract any form of cannabis? Can you extract cannabis extract?
Yeah, you can actually. We've had.
Yeah, like if I got a bunch of poop, then I'm
I asked that question too.
I want
So if
some-
you
I
have a
got
bunch of
some
poop,
Like I said before, man, cannabinoids
that
are
you would do
ubiquitous.
it.
So THC is THC regardless of the source, whether it came from some dirty ass butane or a great, flower. It's THC. Now the process is downstream. You can clean it up, concentrate it. There's a lot you can do with technology.
The personality in the plant is the terps. I mean, that's
right.
And that's the crazy part is like when we first started making good. When you first started making screen hash, you were like, oh, this is like kind of hard to make it exactly like the plant itself. You get like the hash flavor of the plant. Then you did bubble hash, and it was like it knocked out the highs and the lows, and it kind of gave you this like cleaner version. But it was hard to get the. Started to get it almost like it all started to get similar because like it was washing away a lot of the anything that was water soluble was washed away.
So you got BWAP.
So you got BWAP, and it was like clean to a point, but it was like you start to lose the characteristics of it all.
So do we have to stir it, or we just
No, just leave it there and keep it flat. 'Cause otherwise
And then with the
it's
terps, it seems like we're back to like, okay, now we've isolated the actual. Now we're really doing what we were thinking we were doing back in the day, which
This
is
is the essence.
the essence of the and that there's a guy called Eagle Bill back in the day in Amsterdam. He's famous because old guy came through,
it's just ready to go. It's cold. It's not right on.
and he was like, I showed him a vaporizer, and I was like, and the funny part is we were talking about earlier how the vaporizer kind of kills the flavor. At that moment in time, because it was just like 1993, so we were thinking it was capturing the flavor.
So that was the two. That's the highly concentrated Maui with the raw Maui. And so now you put those
You
together. and
getting sweaty?
sweaty right on the top of my
You're
head?
taking it to the next level when you start taking these concentrated
So
versions.
what
with
we
it.
really did there is we almost had like we tweaked up the ratio of terpenes to cannabinoids in that.
Exactly.
It had the same amount of cannabinoids, but now we've added more terpenes on top.
Exactly.
Here, we got to torch
That's
this.
the
We'll
whole
get this back.
tunability aspect that we really like. And that's really going to be the earmark of Evo Lab products going forward is the user tunability, the ability for the user to make it the way they want it, not how we give it to you.
Sure. Well, and that's what's kind of fun about this process in general. I think that's part of the appeal to dabbing, is that rather than smoking, like you can't hit a joint that differently or hit a bowl that differently, but dabbing, you can take a different dab than the next guy, even if it's the same thing.
Sure. Everybody's
Different temperature, different size.
and everybody thinks they're the best.
Theirs is the best
Oh,
way,
the best
sure.
way.
Yeah.
Like
The other thing is we don't, this is a dipping product, so you can do it on its own to get that terpene experience, and whether you have shatter, whether you have butter, whether you have
Bubble hash even, right? Like I
Bubble
got a buddy
hash,
who said
you
that's
know?
his favorite thing,
Just
dipping
dip
bubble
it.
hash and terps.
dip it and rip it.
It's like the barbecue sauce.
No, don't do that.
No, don't do that. I did the same thing. Go, just go, quick.
There you go.
There it is. Yeah, Sage Master.
Oh, I fucked up though. He got OG Maui.
That's cool. OG Mo is good.
That's a new one.
New combination. So, like, how long do you think till there's like a cocktail book for terps?
We would like to write that because that's the fun part with this that we see in the future with social media and stuff is people taking, just like you do jelly beans or jelly bellies, and mixing the orange with the cream.
Sure, 2
and now
drops
you
of
got
this,
orange
3
creamsicle,
drops of that.
and
Absolutely.
boom.
no, it's huge, and the controllability is awesome too because with a drop, you get it like
How did you like that? Was it weird with the OG Maui?
it was good. It was very
awesome.
it's very vibrant,
Right,
like very
right.
vibrating in your mouth or something. You smell like it's like now it's kind
High
of like
energy,
they're
dude.
fighting each other or something.
Who's winning?
The OG's
OG
winning.
always wins.
OG
we
always
know
win,
that.
yeah.
ADSI proved that.
OG's winning.
So, here's a question: can you do mixed runs of CO2?
Meaning,
Well, something you had just said about taking that cream flavor and the orange flavor. Like one thing we do a lot of Dark Horse is we'll do a mixed runs. If we have something like that, we'll put the orange flavor and the creamy flavor in the column together, and the oil we pull from the extractions orange creamy.
yep,
when
we do that
it
all
right.
the time.
So-
That was mostly as a mechanism when certain people, especially the growers that we had in the past, would have 40 strains, but only 2 plants of a strain, so
Right.
we would never be able to
So you
fill the
had to do
vessel.
it, right.
So you had to find like strains and be creative, and we'd make up our own names just combining the 2 strains.
Sure.
So do that all the time, and certainly there's a place for it. I would rather have this method and then you mix the extract
So
together.
let me ask you this, and this is where I'm going with it.
Yeah.
If I were to take, what did he just do, Maui and OG? So if I were to take
Yeah, I
Maui and
can't
OG and put it in the extractor and extract that and clean it up, whatever, would that be chemically exactly the same? Would it be the same thing as if I took a Maui extraction and an OG extraction and then just mixed them on the back end?
Theoretically, I mean,
My gut tells me no because there's
So there'd be
Always
different
be different.
percentages.
You've got volatilization happening during the
During
process,
extraction.
during the secondary processes and refinement, and whether those are going to happen the same way, blended as they would when they were separate. I don't know, but those are fun things to experiment
It's a
with.
terrible learning curve we have to deal with.
So
Terrible.
that's what we're going
I mean, we have
do.
to smoke all that and figure it out.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
God, this is such a hard job.
You didn't get to try the grape, but
No.
I kind of want to show you
do it.
the ability for the.
See, I've not turned it. Now, here's what I want to point out.
What?
You've been dabbing with joy CO2 for over an hour now. Everything
Yeah,
for the
so far so good.
So you done?
Am I done bashing
Yeah,
it?
so you done-
Just kicking it to the curb.
It's a matter
putting
of
their
time
teeth on the
before-
curb and just BAM! Like,
CO2. I don't take it seriously.
Well, yes and no. When it comes to pens, though,
no.
because people, anytime someone hands me a pen and they say it's CO2, I'm gonna like have to go.
You guys got to hand him a pen, please.
I'm
Well,
gonna
you
get,
smoked it earlier.
I
you,
know. And that's only like the second pen in my life I can say that I've
Well, and I'll say that.
tried that. I
This
thought
is
was-
way better because the pen was the first thing I tried today too. This is way, way, way better than the pen. And with the pen, I did taste a little bit of that element that I don't like in pens. But this is
Yeah,
far. And
that's
once you
most
guys come
likely-
out with your own pen for this,
That's most likely
Well, what'd
the
you do with the
damn
pen, though? Would you do like a
technology, the
20%
pen
the
technology
pen itself,
sucks,
yeah, exactly.
Would you like a 20% blend on the
On the pen,
it's a funny number that you come up with, but that's our terp, what we call terp juice, which
Yeah.
is probably
40 to
20 to 40.
60%, yeah.
It varies in percentage of terpenes
Yeah.
in the oil itself.
So we don't really,
I'm just thinking like power to flavor because you don't need as much flavor for
did
the
you get
power.
the grape? Did you get the candy taste?
No
you didn't
grape.
get
You
it,
gotta do
huh?
again.
If they were
Yeah,
pure,
but-
got to do it again. So here's
if they
where
were
I'm
pure
at.
terpenes, 20% would be
grape.
a high number. 10 to 15 would be if they're just pure terpenes.
Right.
So here's where I'm at. I will say after having dabbed terps for an hour, I don't feel. Obviously, I feel altered, but I don't feel like super blazed. If we were just taking dabs for the past hour, that's when the show falls apart. So with that said,
he would have hit the fucking wall
totally,
25 minutes ago easily,
totally.
like hard, like
if these were real dabs, right? Or full dabs.
Yeah,
Traditional
Gotta
dabs.
take over the show.
So, with that said, can I get like a little THC in a dish that I can turf out?
Of course, yeah. Sure.
KTI, this is crazy. This is future dabbing right here.
Do you want a dab tool, or do you?
So once you mix it up, does it end up being a more dabbable texture?
No, it's like a flow grape kind of.
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what the starting material was, but it's
Sure. Yeah.
flow.
I'll go dab tool. Yeah. Go
Like that side of the
little,
grape,
little
not like grape
THC.
ape.
Can I get a drop of CBD in there too? Is that crazy?
There's certain things that are like, whoa, that's a grape and a half.
So
That was more like a
just to go over
flow
what's
grape.
happening here. Yeah, KTI. Look at what you walked in on. I'm like, oh, let me get 3 drops of THC and 1 drop of CBD, and I'll mix in some terps and what. And you know what we're doing now, dude?
What are we doing?
This is fucking orange juice, bro.
Oh, we're making orange. We're doing a Sunny D.
Yes.
It's the Sunny D crew right here.
So this is, one thing that we've said for years is that the sort of ultimate industrial future of this industry looks a lot like the commercial orange juice or Sunny Delight industry, where
You buy in
you
all-
fractionate everything, you grade it, you put this homogeneous stuff together, and then kind of like, oh, well, we need a bunch of this 40% and a bunch of this 60%, mix that together, and we got the 50%. That's what we're shooting for, by the acidity and the sweetness and all that. And like, this is the first time I really feel like I'm participating in a very early phase of that.
Absolutely.
Because it's going to happen.
Really,
I
what
mean,
it is fractionated.
Yeah, and all right, so I got a torch,
We
right?
need a flavor. Do you
A
have
flavor.
Dropper to put on?
What flavor should we do? Brain OG.
You want to try it?
Brain OG is interesting because this is a strain that I call Brain Dead OG for me because it definitely puts me out. Now I want to see if it's just theoretically right. The Terps, if this strain is a strain that makes me look, oh, the Terps should do that to me,
You
right?
should, man. Yeah,
it
absolutely.
should be the end of Mitch. It should be like, say goodbye to Mitch now.
And this one has THC in it too. So here's the wall.
Yeah.
So say good. I'm signing off for the show. I'll do my shout outs because I'm about to hit the wall for
Shout
sure
out
right
to
now.
my
Brain OG it is.
Okay.
All right, so there's. I'll put the jar down. I'm so scared to spill this stuff. Goddamn.
Me too.
Okay, it's all of us. That's so then we can agree. That's like the only issue with
I'm
this
only
product
scared
is
when
that
he's
it's
around.
scary.
Look at KTI with the
I
brace
don't know.
and the thing trying to take
Look at
photos.
him. He's like a SEAL photographer.
Navy
Right?
SEAL. Navy SEAL slash
Navy
photog-
SEAL. I meant like
You meant like
ARP SEAL.
ARP
Yeah,
SEAL.
yeah.
Oh, I was
he doesn't
thinking
have
Navy
fingers.
SEAL.
Yeah.
I thought just because he was so militant.
Sure, he's militant about
He's
it.
very militant.
So, what do you think, man? You ready to say CO2 is the future?
I mean, if I had like an endless supply of it, yeah, for sure.
so
So now the problem is you like it too much.
I would need.
So
like,
he's
I would
officially
need,
addicted.
Well, like your underwear thing you get. Or whatever.
Yeah, subscription.
I need like the me Terps.
Oh yeah. Me Terpies.
Me Terpies. They just kind of come to your door every week.
And then you get a different new flavor.
new flavor every week, and I'd be like, yeah, I love these Terps, bro. And then that's what you should be doing right now. Me
So
Terps.
now you guys can't like. I think Blue River sells the shit right online because it's not. They can sell it online, or they can't sell it
You
online.
know, I don't know. I'm trying to learn a little bit more about it. My understanding is that it is cannabis derived, and since California doesn't have such a regulated environment, you probably can get away with doing what we're doing, which is removing the cannabinoids and then selling a non-cannabinoid.
But this is all coming out of a licensed facility in
This is,
Colorado, so
I
you
couldn't
can't
do
divert
this.
it.
I couldn't divert it that way.
What if you wasted it? Like if that all was green waste?
You know, I suppose, but you know.
I'm fucking with you.
Sounds like a plan.
yeah, it's
we'll
not-
pick up
let's
your
do it,
waste. We have a new
man.
waste retrieval company.
Yeah, we take care of liquid cannabis waste primarily,
That's
usually terpene fractions.
Yeah, we're done. We know we don't want any of that to get into the environment. Well,
Yeah, we don't want a situation
we will
like that
destroy
town
it
in
in
eastern
small,
Colorado. So we will.
controllable fires.
We just pour it in the
we'll
river.
keep it safe. It's like having a safety meeting.
Did you taste the brain?
Did
So we'll see if you fall asleep now. If you nod off.
He looks like he's
definitely-
not enough
it's
already.
stupefying.
Like,
Yeah. It's
I saw the wall hitting him. Did you? Did it? It kind of did.
It's there. Yeah.
He's already packing his stuff up. He's ready to go home.
Yeah, I know.
Time
I'm
to go
sweating.
home.
I'm a
That's
little
it.
extra sweaty.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I
I'm
see
doing
this.
this thing.
Yeah.
Where I put the headphones like this. That's when I'm definitely really high.
Okay, we've hit it.
So there you go. Once you mix it up. Okay, so
Well, the thing is, I would believe that is because I already know for a fact that the distillate work. I mean, I know it's strong. It's just never comfortable for me strong. It's always been like, well, that was not.
I tell you, mixing in some CBD with it, which I did like THC with some CBD and terps.
That
Give that a
knocks the edge
shot.
off.
Give
knocks
that a
the edge
shot.
off, man.
I read this interesting study. Check this
do it.
out. Oh, you're a behavioral drugs guy. Okay, so I read this interesting study that without a doubt, THC fucks up your short-term memory, but not if you have CBD too. It cancels out the short-term memory loss of THC.
I mean, that's a little simplified from something.
Way simplified.
And
That's more than a little.
I don't want to take that out of
Sounds
context.
like you haven't had enough CBD.
No,
Yeah,
but-
yeah, exactly.
but
Stabbing over the words there.
The reality is, as far as THC and CBD, to put it relatively simply, is that the binding of CBD to a CB1 or CB2 receptor alters the THC binding site. So they do modulate each other. It's called orthosteric modulation.
All right, now can you talk about the other, because you're talking about stuff that our friend Jim Frere talks about. Can you talk about the other side of that, which is the diphasic or biphasic? Which is the right one? Nature of cannabinoids and terpenes?
So biphasic.
Biphasic, okay.
Makes more sense.
But basically, I mean, just how the subjective experience is that, some people can be stimulated by it, where
Right.
other people are depressed by it. Some people are relaxed.
Well, it's
Some
also
people
like when
are
you're in a
into-
group of, like, say if you're in a group of 100 people and everybody smokes the same thing, 2 of those people are going to wig out, you know what I mean? Like, "Rah!" Like have to be like restrained almost. But they're like the schizophrenic fucking borderline personality person anyway. They just didn't even know it. You're like, hey, maybe you should go check out about getting therapy because you might be borderline schizophrenic or
Well,
something.
there are
because-
some cases of cannabis-induced psychosis.
Oh, 100%.
cannabis-induced-
And that's where, I mean, it's not cannabis induced, it's cannabis enhanced.
Cannabis revealed almost.
Yeah,
Well,
like the
that's
cannabis.
probably better. It's a good word.
Yeah, exactly. It opened the door there. Where
Like
you're
it's not causal. There's
I
a
saw-
correlation,
I mean,
but cannabis didn't
and
cause
I had that when I was a kid.
What?
Going behind this, not me,
Yeah.
but I had that as a kid, going behind the school, getting high with a group of 5 people, 5, 6 people, whatever. And one of us decided that he hated the school and he was going to just smash bottles against the fucking side of the building. Right?
This
And
was
I-
not you, you're saying?
no, not me. And I
Definitely.
was like, this kid is fucking nuts.
Like,
right
why
here.
is this weed making him not chill?
Yeah, everyone
Right?
else is like, we're just chilling, sitting on a log.
He's like, I hate the school. I'm going to kill it with bottles.
Exactly. He started like going, fuck me, raw," and he like smashing bottles against the wall. And I was like, we all like skulked away. Like, okay, later, dude. You're like I don't know what
Shady
you're
guy.
doing. Yeah, and exactly. And it's like, and he ended up getting in trouble for it because, of course, they had, this is even back in 1980s. They had cameras, and they're like, why is there someone throwing? Because we're hiding in the woods smoking weed.
Sure.
And he decides to go up and throw
Like,
bottles against.
leave your hiding spot.
Yeah, and
Do
go and
and
expose us,
yeah.
expose us to smash
Throwing
bottles,
bottles, yeah.
and being all aggro and fucking pissed off at the world. And
So
I
they
was
probably
like,
didn't think he was smoking weed, though,
You have
right?
a favorite terp? We'll put that on your blend here.
try again that what was the thing?
The blessings OG.
Blessing.
you
I want
liked.
to see.
Yeah, I like this. The floral OG. It's a little not quite flugy.
It's
It's more
It's definitely exactly what we were looking.
not chompy lang lang. Yeah, that's what I said right here. Totally got the lang lang.
It's total like it.
Yeah.
I was like, this is it. This is the langa langa.
Yeah, it's definitely well, if we had the chart, right, then we could look at it and be like, oh, it's this terpene. Mm-hmm. We don't have that chart. We need to do the tasting and have the chart that shows the terpene
We need the
analysis.
charts to be accurate first.
Okay, that's on your guys' side. Our side is we'll do the appreciation.
Ours is mostly based when we do testing of other, and when we're doing like a cup or something. We categorize it into like 4 or 5 things because that's about what they end up being.
Take it hot.
Yep.
I think I've got. Are you sleeping, buddy?
Oh no. Actually, this is for everyone here. Just confirming next week's show. I just got an email from Bodie, emailing him back. He will be in town on Thursday, and he will be on the Adam Dunn show with Adam, not
Right
with
here.
me.
Right here.
Here next week, Bodie, his fucking face, his stories,
Yeah.
the real deal. It's a big deal.
That'll be a great show. I can't
That's
wait.
awesome.
That's like I talked to Nick from Boulder.
Are you psyched?
I was like,
Because he loves Bodie.
I know. So
He
I was
runs a
like,
bunch of Bodie gear.
And I was like, you might want to come hang out with me. He's like,
We should hit up Malone too. He loves Bodie. I mean, a lot of those guys know Bodie, but Nick.
Is this a bad
doesn't.
time to reveal that
No,
Sean Harrison's gay?
You're so bad, dude.
is that what you had to do? Shout out to him.
I had to.
You had
I had to.
Yeah,
I was
you can do that.
I was
That's
You
fine.
do that whenever you
We
want.
like to give our team a hard time.
Yes.
To keep it as
That's
funny.
It's the perfect time.
It's anytime.
And he's really proud, so.
So,
Love you,
how
Sean.
speaking of teams, how many people you got on your team? How big is your crew? What
How many
Give us
people
a
have?
48 now we've got.
Holy moly, that's huge.
Sounds like they need hoodlum.
They have a giant Terp factory.
This is my way. I figure.
This
it
is
out.
a sales
Well, we
pitch.
have
Welcome to the
48
sales.
Oompa Loompas.
38, excuse
38.
me.
Don't
yeah.
start dropping the order.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
Yeah, that's too small. Maybe it's t-shirts. Maybe it's not jackets.
Jackets. Yeah, you can get custom jackets. I think you should do it. I think you're
Adam's
ready.
trying to sell you custom hemp gear.
Oh yeah,
That'll happen.
it's gonna happen. Don't worry.
I'm sure everybody likes the hidden pockets. I got a couple of yours.
Yeah.
Oh, they tend to like those hidden pockets. That has been always the.
And how cool when your boss gives it to you.
Of course.
Like, so cool.
And it's all
I was
covered in
gonna
like
say,
Evo Labs, and it's like black
saw
on
your,
black, and looks really dope.
I saw your little airport frisk job.
Oh, you did see
that
that?
you
Did
got
you see
online.
one that he made?
Did
though?
you hide? Did you get away with stuff hidden in the secret pocket?
Let me tell you how, when we go to the airport with Adam, let me tell you how they actually search him. Because that one, I've never seen them do
What, the
give him the
back-
hand job. They do this one to him.
Oh, every single little they love that. But I have no beard now, so
Stitch by
next time I
stitch
go,
through his
it's going to be
clothing.
so cool to see what
I'm
they do.
excited to see what. Now, if they still pull you, then you're definitely on the
No,
fucking
I
list.
don't get pulled.
You do the pulling?
opt out. I
No,
opt out.
here's the thing. Reese opts out with the baby because you don't bring a baby through.
That's a different-
And want to know what? They just let her right through. They don't look at every stitch of her clothing.
She's a
Literally.
woman with a baby, and she's
Dudes opt. I've never seen anyone get the search in the
You would
airport.
get it if you had a baby.
No
You'd
way.
be like,
Absolutely not.
They're like, you look very Arab-like with your baby in your hand. Whose baby is this? This is
Oh, headband. Yeah. Nice.
But anyway, the TSA love me. We'll see how they love me now. You love me now.
That's pretty scary, man. If they're like literally really do have a list, man.
That's what I'm saying. This is the test. If
I'm
you
not
go
on the
back
list.
and you
I'm
get
not
the
on the
same
list. I
thing-
just opt out every time because I refuse to go through the machine. That's all. So
Well, you'll be able. If they don't do it now, then you know they're biased against beards. Then you sue them.
yeah.
We got footage of them.
Oh, so
Giving you a
because
hard
you
time.
won't go through the machine?
Yeah,
tell them,
I
like,
opt
what,
out.
for like religious reasons?
No, because it'll unscramble your DNA, is what he says. It'll untwist your DNA, is exactly what you said.
It's what it did the first
It's not what it
I'm
does.
gonna have to argue with that.
There's actually a scientist who knows this shit here. That's not what it does.
backscatter technology.
Does not untwist your DNA.
Which was the first round of that, did do that. And
No,
I was, yes,
you
it
can't,
did.
no.
It did. It was military shit. They didn't give a fuck.
DNA repair mechanisms, even if it did.
So you could just eat
Well,
some
you can go buy some
vegetables.
repair-
No, you eat vegetables or
No,
something.
we have DNA repair.
Your body does that.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, cool. But I'm still not going to the fucking machine. I do not. The thing I don't like about it is that they make you do this. It's like what?
You don't want to. You don't
My
do
pits are
this.
sweaty because of all the weed I got.
You don't do this. You do the Diamond Dallas Page in
Whatever.
front of you.
That is the worst ever. That's like pure
Illuminati.
fucking
Do the. I won't do
Yeah.
the Illuminati.
No,
You're
no.
twisting my DNA while I do
Yes.
the Illuminati.
They're untwisting my DNA.
Whatever. They're putting Illuminati in the middle, and then it retwists
Do
itself.
you know all about DNA?
Guarantee it.
Yeah, he's like, I'm pretty sure there's no Illuminati in your DNA. He has a DNA tattoo, Adam.
I saw that.
So he's in way more.
But
of an
you know
expert.
the guy who discovered it was on acid, right? When he discovered it.
You're
Yes.
talking about the polymerase chain reaction, and that was
Like-
Kerry Mullis.
See, I knew you would know.
Yeah,
You
you would
can't
know
have a
that.
tattoo and not know that, or else
Right.
you'd be fired.
Well, I don't
would
know.
take that tattoo away from you, like Donald Trump style. Taking everybody's tattoo doesn't
Speaking
know.
of
how-
which,
Oh, we
the
haven't
Trump
talked about-
campaign is supposed to call us in. Hold
Oh,
on.
where
I
is
recall
that?
Maybe that was some of those calls you were avoiding.
Were you avoiding calls?
Well,
Looks like it got too cool.
you better
like,
call. Trump campaign better call in because it's like now or never.
yeah, I got to set up Skype
I did
though.
that, you killed me.
Oh, you know what?
What?
We got a voicemail. I got to see if that's them.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
I don't think we can reach directly
Yeah.
out to them here.
Trump's going to say, take another turf hit for me.
I mean, I don't expect we'll get him. It was probably like an assistant or whatever.
Chances are he's a little busy after the.
Yeah, like I don't expect Donald Trump.
Did you guys watch any of that? Did you guys watch any of the?
We don't really talk politics on
Idiocracy?
here, but let's do this right now.
Did you watch Idiocracy last night?
Yeah, Idiocracy called the Republican National Committee.
Last night was live.
Yeah, it was Idiocracy Live.
Last night was live.
Yeah, Idiocracy Live is where we are right now.
It is. It's,
it was
it's
amazing.
exactly the same. It's
It was
ironic.
weird.
We're out selecting intelligence. The smart people are having maybe
I
one
showed
kid.
my wife's from Sweden, and I've tried to show her this movie like 5 times. I went out and actually bought it. I was like, listen, we're buying the movie because I can't seem to find it anywhere. It's hard to fucking download. Anyway, got it. Tried 4 times to show it to her, and then now, because of the election, she was watching Trump shit, like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? You know, and I'm like,
You don't even know the
It
half.
was 3 days though, not just one.
yeah,
3.
it was 3, but he'd only talked last night. It was just nuts. It was just like it was so bad. It was a combination.
Well, now the worst to me, Giuliani. Giuliani took the
of
cake.
the fact that
I'd say Crispy.
Giuliani was nuts.
Nuts. Now I seriously think he sacrificed all the homeless people in New York
Did you see
to
where,
gain his powers now.
Did you see where he
went nuts.
Did you see when somebody re-edited it so smart? I mean, it was so good. He was like just
So jazzed up,
he was
dude.
so incredibly jazzed up.
It seemed drug induced, which is like, oh, and we didn't even talk about Bush dancing at that one.
Get ready.
How over the top
Get
was
ready,
that?
'cause,
Everybody's on drugs and they're
it's,
dancing like
the power of marketing.
yeah.
Obviously, is at play here.
Oh yeah, and you know what's interesting is when you look at how Trump ran his campaign. Are we still talking about Trump, or we're talking about?
Yeah, we'll talk
No,
about
dude, he ran it like a social media internet marketing campaign. A/B testing. They basically scraped poll data to figure out how to. Everything he says, they're really transparent with. Like, he doesn't have any opinions. We're just like, we did a data aggregation on the most popular articles on these websites, and he just used the keywords from that. Like,
then just talks about
yeah, he's really just saying what will be popular with people who don't think.
I know, and it was
And it's like
basically
literally that's all he's doing.
and I was watching it like going like it was just like one worst soundbite after another where you were just like I hope somebody's sitting there and and I knew the next morning when I woke up it was like 20 things he lied about, of course, because everything he said
No,
was
the
just,
best was the lady who did the Zig Heil. Like,
oh my god,
like she couldn't help herself.
she's
Like it burst out of her. She's like,
I know, that was
It's
amazing.
Totally like
That was amazing.
You know what I'm saying? She's
Yeah.
like, I'm so worked up. I'm like,
It was amazing.
really good.
Yeah,
It's never happened to you?
right. That doesn't just
It
happen.
was like popping a boner Hitler style. It was like the equivalent of that. Like
Yeah.
she showed your cards there, lady.
That was
I think he had
crazy.
Klinefelter syndrome. I don't know.
Yeah, there was a. It's going to be funny to watch the Democrat because the only thing that's going to be the action at the Democrat is going to be outside, where all the Democrats.
Oh no, because there's going to be like the Bernie delegates are still there. Bernie's still going.
Oh, that's true.
So
That's
there's
going to be
still
the
gonna
fun part of the whole thing is that he'll be there.
Yeah. So it's a
Ironic.
circus either way this year.
Ironic, Bernie's endorsing Hillary now, man. I just the whole political slate.
Well, I mean, the thing is, it's like he's pulling FDR move, isn't he?
What I heard, I mean, what
Is he going for an FDR? He's going for he's going to take over the rally.
supposedly
he's
he's
gonna
going to
take
go
over the
try
race.
to steal. So he endorsed her, but he didn't withdraw from the race, which is a really weird combination of being like, yeah, vote for him. I'm still here. Like, so you never. That's weird. It's weird
What
because
did you think of the headband, man? Was it any good?
the headband.
Terrible.
Obviously,
I didn't have any yet, so that's why it's terrible. I need it. Then I can tell you.
Oh, you know what? This headband is not as mouth coating as the OGs I tried, but it might have just been dab temperature. Whoa.
Yeah, get in there.
Yeah.
Sorry, man.
He
No,
likes,
but
he likes to feed.
I do.
See, he's that guy. He's like, I just like to burn
You know what?
a
I
torch.
think it cooled off a little too much.
Yeah, so that might have been it. I didn't get I didn't get the full
Look at that.
mouth
That's a failure.
coating.
That's pure failure right there.
What's that?
Just
Like,
all that,
yeah, all that.
oil. Look at it. I can see it. It's
All
like
that oil
gallons
you
of
did,
oil in there.
Yep.
Well,
Good thing I didn't spill it, right? I just like
Let's clean.
clean it.
That won't do anything, but
Get all that
Look at
headband.
that coat, that coating. Yeah, you just didn't. It was too cold.
Yeah, waited a little too long.
You're terrible.
I'm terrible. Terrible
He's the
list.
worst.
Rookies, man.
God damn it. Well, I don't know if I
go
can
for the
get.
kill and clean. I go for
I
the kill
got
and clean.
to try. I don't know how to play our Skype messages.
Come on.
I really don't. I can try on my phone.
Check on the.
I'm pretty sure this is from the campaign. It looks like.
Oh my God. We had a perfect thing from the campaign, and you blew it.
I think. Let me see.
Let it cool down a little bit.
You take this one. I'm trying to find. Hold on.
What am I doing?
I heard you were the
You're taking
hot
a
dabber.
dab. Yeah, he loves hot dabs. Take a hot dab.
I'm hot.
I'm hot. Gimme. Yeah, I don't know how to play the Skype messages, Adam. I don't know what to tell you. You want to do second round of shout-outs and then wind the sucker down? Because it's like we have an event going on in the backyard. They're about to play a movie back there.
I can't till it gets dark, dude.
Yeah, well, I know. But you want to do shout-outs? And
Let's do it.
Do your shout outs. I got to roll. I got a dog at the.
oh, yeah, you got to go 5:30. Perfect. Yeah. So, okay.
So wait,
we'll say goodbye to you
before
first.
you leave, we need to know
Where
people can-
where do we get more of these?
don't pack anything up.
Go
Yeah,
to
Just walk, go.
The
Go.
best.
You gotta take care of things.
The
Yeah,
best,
go
the
take
best
care. We'll keep
session-
an eye on all this
I'll
stuff.
watch all the Terps.
I'll let you watch them, but when I come back, they all got to still be here.
He marked the bottles. He marked
No, yeah, evolab.com.
CO2, bro.
You can check our store
I'll take
locator.
it. I'll take anything I can get.
And we have a Twitter feed that tells you all the drops. So it's where it was dropped and what was dropped. That's our answer to the questions people have, like what's where.
Yeah, yeah.
Right now, Choice Organics, GAHW down in Colorado Springs, our friend John Hunt, Nugs up here in Aurora, Natty Rems. They've got some tremendous flavors. And I don't want to miss anybody. Standing Akimbo.
And now, would any of those have sort of like unique flavors that are only for them, or they're kind of ordering out of your line?
Yeah, it's a combination. We do some processing. Natty Rems is all of their
their
in-house
own
stuff.
Okay.
And then for some of the other stores, it's some of our in-house stuff, and a blend of which I wouldn't be able to really figure out right now. But the Twitter feed on our store locator on evolab.com will tell you what's there.
Right on.
It's probably about 30 or 40 flavors out there in the marketplace.
Nice.
And we keep doing drops. We focused on just keeping it in the boutique stores
Sure.
to start with, and then we'll branch out a
I
little.
mean, the
more
whole
as we-
problem with
And now,
cannabis.
how much are you producing? Like, how much is getting dropped on a regular basis? Are people going to basically, like, look at your Twitter, and by the time they get to the store, it's all gone?
No, we're dropping about 200 units a drop, which is probably a cross of about 4 strains, so 50 units each drop of
Sure.
4 strains.
And I feel like these go a long way. Like,
They do. They go a real long way, especially if you're using it as a dipping product. So you're supplementing it with your hash, whatever it is. that
Sure.
what do you prefer? Use it as a supplement. A little goes a long way.
How's it? It comes in vials or comes in little
It comes in the
drippers?
jars for now. We're working on syringes. One of
Yeah.
the problems.
did you see their
we
cool
had-
glass syringes? They're so cool.
One of the problems we had with trying to sell the Terps in syringes is if you like a tweaker and you hit the thing too hard, you squirt the Terps
Everywhere,
so-
yeah.
Tweakers are hitting this stuff. I didn't know.
Terp
that.
tweakers.
It's like
think
too
we
much
just created
coffee.
too
It's
much.
weird. It's weird though how like as a smoker, even though we know it's convenient, and I've seen nice little metal versions and titanium little things, and they're cool, but it's just like it's such a weird. Like my mom.
This
always
glass
trips out.
one's not cooler? This one you're not just like, oh,
My mom
that's-
trips out because of the terminology is all so fucking druggy. It's like, give me a rig.
Right, well,
Get
even
it.
as we
Get
sit
it.
here, the
Torch,
blowtorch
and
And the
fire
torch,
this
the
thing up
torch,
and
the
pass it
rig,
around.
everything. My mom's always like, oh, you guys and your, she hates it, and she's grower and everything, but she hates that connection. And whenever I see a syringe, it doesn't matter how slick it looks or whatever, it's always a little bit like
Yeah, it's always
it's
looks-
weird.
it
Like
looks
that
bad.
when you opened up, like someone opens up, oh, I got this, oh, it's like, whoa, what's he doing?
So to close out, man, if you had any favorites, speak up because I'll dab you out one of those favorites now, and I'm gonna pack up.
The blessings.
The blessings.
The blessings.
Cool. I'm glad you guys like that. That's
I think that's
an
my
interesting
favorite.
one.
I know
it's
everything's my favorite, but that
we
was the
call
most
it the
unique.
lang lang. It's got like a Nam Champa lang lang flavor, and we get that every so often, and we're always like, oh, the lang lang.
Special things happen.
All right, so man, I'm. What's the lang lang yang yang?
Lang Lang is like a, I don't know, you can get Ylang Ylang Essential. It's a flower, I guess. It's like
It's
a
a flower.
Southeast Asian flower. YLANG.
And it's a very honeysuckle-ish or something like
But
that.
there's more to it than that.
Yeah,
It's
but
got
it's,
a brightness to it, like almost citrusy.
Cadmium free?
I don't know.
that I don't know.
Like a battery?
No. Heavy metals
Oh.
and a lot of those herbs and extractions and stuff like that.
Oh, we don't even talk about extraction. We're just talking about the actual
The flower.
The
yeah.
flower itself.
Yeah.
Wow, blessing
Is it?
Langy Langy. Yeah. There it is. It just happened. It's like a transitional flavor. It's like a really bright. I just describe it as like fluorescent colored. If flavors were colored,
Did you
it
get the
jumps out
Langy
like
Lang?
that.
Need more.
Need more.
Need more. No, I do. It's weird. It comes on so late.
At the end, right?
So late.
All of them hit you after the exhale. It's always on the inhale. You're like, oh man,
lemon
this isn't
G.
very strong, and then
Yeah.
on the exhale, and as it sits in your mouth and coats it a little bit.
Still,
Well, I'm
still
gonna
one
have-
more hit left in that one.
We're gonna have to go on Twitter and find out where they dropped this blessing OG, blessings OG, whatever. This stuff's great. Very unique
Well,
flavor.
if properly manifested, which is the only way we do things, we might be able to.
Set that up. Well, we know a couple
We'll
stores.
tell you where the drop is, and the drop is coming right here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I see. It's the drop.
it's just a big drop.
Big drop.
Drop's a technical term.
Yeah. Can't get enough of it, right? So have you guys used this as like
None of it-
cologne and
no,
things
it's
like
not.
that?
It's especially the
Our
clear
friend Jason
ones.
Pinsky, that's his goal.
Our friend Jason.
With the
Pinsky.
clear ones.
Yeah.
That's his goal in life is to just rub Terps all over him. every day.
All over every
His
part of
Terps
his body.
stash, every time he comes over, he rubs it all
Yeah,
over his
I'm
mustache.
afraid we're going to find him naked in our facility one morning.
I'm afraid of that too.
I would be very afraid. That's a genuine fear right there.
That's finding Pinsky naked in your facility is a fear. KTI, you working the door, buddy? I think we got people coming in. KTI, can't hear me.
Doesn't
His
matter.
hands hurt his ears. Bert wanted to know if we got people working the door. I guess we got to shut.
KTI, we got KTI working the door.
Yeah.
Well,
I guess we
had
got
the kids, but now we got the freaking.
I guess it's about time to end the show, right? Like we got a party really happening here.
Party's about to start. Things are about to get all weird.
Evo Lab crew.
We appreciate you having us.
Absolute
Super
pleasure
stoked.
to meet you. Thank you for proving
Things
us
come
wrong
to
about
those that wait.
CO2.
That's what you have to do. You have to say that, right?
Good things
Yeah.
come to those who wait.
Of course, yeah, because that was the thing. We waited a long time. I waited a long time to try some good CO2 you've actually touched.
You got one cartridge. I know you're not cartridge fans, but
Try it. Do it.
OG, man.
Do it. OG
I'll
cards.
leave it with you. You can.
Yeah, I got cards things. That
We
I
got
can
pens.
do.
Yeah.
Definitely.
They're like, just leave them.
And if this-
We might grab them.
We might not. We might just give it to these randos who are walking in for the event.
Well, if you're gonna do that,
No, come
No,
on.
we would never do that.
So this is the same Terps. Just
Terps with
Is that what you were smoking when you first came in the door?
the OG. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what I would like.
That one's
definitely-
mine.
What do you thought? Wasn't there two of them?
No.
What are you talking about? What's
Yes. This is the thing. This is the pen.
that? Oh, that's a pen. Jesus.
Yeah.
You got a pen?
No,
You
the.
know that Alan's having a heart attack at the moment.
We're giving out the profits.
This is this.
This is
dude.
how it works, my friend.
This is this.
Okay, I see
Boom.
it. Now I get
There's
it.
this
now
part.
I get
Now
it.
you got it.
Now I got it. I'm
All
figuring it
right.
out.
Well, let's start our shout outs with Evo Lab. Shit, I've never actually done that on a show before, but these guys laced us up with some
Big
good
shout
stuff.
out to
Yeah,
Evo
big
Lab.
shout out with the Evo Lab. Jeez, like coming through and changing our opinion on CO2.
Man.
We have those manifest forms you guys assigned.
Yeah. Yep.
Since
So
this is my personal stash, I think I'm allowed to share with.
Oh, that is.
that's true. It's his head
He's already
stash.
manifested it.
No, well, yeah, and it's his head stash, and we're all adults.
We're adults, and that is definitely not over an ounce.
Yeah, this is way less than an ounce of cannabis, so I think we're good.
It's one of the best ways to trade.
Representative.
If you traded an ounce of Terps to somebody, you'd be the man.
Oh, I
Yeah,
want
that'd
to.
be epic.
Just start gifting people.
Do I want to leave this on, or I want to take this off? So I just pulled it off.
That's just just
It's a protector thing.
Yeah,
Yes, it's done,
protector,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, take the protector off. Jesus.
it's just a con.
Turn it on. Turn it on.
Do something like that. Push
Yeah,
it 5 times.
5 times.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. I did it 4 like a sucker.
Lying to us.
Well, yeah. Big shout out to Evil Lab. Safety guys. Oh, we've been on the screen this whole time.
What do you mean the whole?
Oh, since we did shout outs. Thanks for pointing that out, KTI. Good thing most people just listen to us.
We weren't on screen.
Oh, we were for like most of it, and then when I showed the screen, I never switched back to camera.
Oh, gotcha. Cool.
Well, you crazy guy.
Crazy guy. You got me with the. As soon as we added THC to the Terps,
All hell
the
went.
Brain OG.
Wall got
No,
hit.
there was some CBD there too.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I think that prevented it from being worse. I think that's how we held it together.
Well, thanks again, guys, man. It was
Thank-
good.
Thank you guys so much.
Alex.
Thanks for making the trip down, bearing with us through these technical difficulties.
And like without
definitely
us
for
even asking, he brought the scientists. Like that's we understand our friends know what's up, but we always want to bring that one guy who can just really.
Who could tell Adam that the scanner at the airport definitely doesn't untwist your DNA?
Well, that's good to
dude.
know. I'm glad to.
That's good to know. He said.
It gives you hemorrhoids though.
For
It does
sure.
give you hemorrhoids. Yeah,
I
yeah.
wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it.
Thank you guys
Thanks,
so
guys.
much.
Thank you. Appreciate
This
it.
is we want to bring you back, especially when you bring out whatever the next thing that you're working on, the Genesis, or before then. This is something that I think is going to be around for a while, and it looks like you guys have a really unique foothold.
Awesome, man.
Yeah, we're pretty psyched.
Thanks for sticking in for CO2, so people like me can actually
Exactly.
can
He
actually.
was a stubborn bastard about
Because
that.
imagine, I mean, if everybody was like me and just moved on to the fucking next thing and was like, yeah, it doesn't work.
now CO2.
Then we would never evolve as a stoner society, which we have to. I mean, and CO2 before anything, even before the flavors now that have been exhibited, before that, from a food side, it was way safer. You know, I mean, you couldn't argue with the food safety issue and the food gradeness of it all, as far as not that it was bad.
Well, as you
food
said, no
grade,
one makes pharmaceuticals with butane. They make
but
it
as
with
far
CO2.
as food grade is cleanliness, you know what I mean? Like that was obvious from the beginning. So,
Yeah.
so you definitely already kind of like cornerstone that thing. now you got actual flavors that people want to smoke. Good job.
Thanks, man.
Good job.
I saw the skepticism on your tours of the lab. You're like, I don't believe it, man.
No, we talked.
That was the first thing I said to you guys when you came in here. Like, so traditionally, we don't have the
He
best
knows
views.
because I was there, and I was just like, and it was like, and the thing is, at that point in time, it wasn't like you were working on anything this.
We had this all.
You just didn't know.
low-key.
I know, of course, you're not going to show randos that
Beard
you know,
guy.
not
No,
this guy.
hell no.
Cool. Well, thanks for coming through.
Thank you.
Thanks again.
Awesome.
Travel safe. Hopefully, you guys don't get too much traffic. Have a great weekend, guys.
So we are wrapping up the show.
Shout-outs,
Let's talk
personal
about
shout-outs,
tonight real
let's go.
quick because we got the THTC T-shirt
Oh yeah,
launch.
launch the THCC line. Shirts.
We're going to be dropping some shirts here. Any minute, I have to run home and grab them. Actually, that's how crazy. That's how immediate it is. CC will be back through here with little Nick coming back from school.
Nice.
And big shout out to CC. Thanks, sir. Yeah, of course. To Ace down at the farm.
We're not doing personal shout-outs.
Oh, we're not?
No, I was going to do like shout-outs, sponsors,
I thought we were
and
doing-
then personals.
Oh,
And then
wow.
you wanted to talk about the event first.
Okay, let's talk about the event.
Go ahead.
All right, cool. So tonight,
Can they hear it? I don't think they can hear it. It's rocking out there, though. There's people here.
it's raging. No, it's
Reggae, there's people.
not. There's Burnt MD.
Burnt
He's all
MD with
burnt.
his summer hat.
and his tea in hand. Everyone thinks it's moonshine. That's what's so funny. He walks
This is
around.
moonshine tea. I
It's
think,
not
right?
moonshine.
It's moonshine, yep. He's ripped.
It is definitely not moonshine tea.
Come on down.
So
We're having a
tonight-
good time down here.
Tonight is the first round of
Irie movie night.
Irie movie night, man. Jamaican food, Jamaican beer, I'm getting ginger beer. Got
Jamaican movies.
of course, Jamaican movies. Harder They Come Tonight, classic.
And of course, reggae music.
With
Good times.
Nick T and crew.
Good times down here, 2209 Welton Street. If you're in Denver, come on through. Tell a friend, tell a friend.
From pretty much right after the show till midnight. Nice.
Yeah, take one for the road. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
one
wouldn't
for
let
this
you.
guy,
He didn't
one
let
for
you out.
this
He didn't
guy.
let you out the door. He's like, you ain't going anywhere.
No, he stopped the music. Didn't you hear? He was DJing, and he was
Stop
like, "No,
the
I need a
music."
dab."
Need me Terps, man. Need me Terps.
Yes.
Is there any Terp songs yet? You know Terp reggae songs? Terps rhyme with everything. Terp rhymes with
Yes,
everything.
yes, see, yes.
I mean, Terp is like the next big rhyme.
Yep. I can already tell.
Because Shatter was like okay for a little bit, but then it got people scared.
Yeah. So all right, so let's do sponsor shouts.
Sponsor
and wrap.
shout outs.
Big shout out to Way to Grow. Our favorite source for grow supplies equipment.
Making things happen in Colorado, man. These guys have been doing it for over 11 years. 7 locations, sorry. Up
You know what I almost did today?
What'd you do
In
almost
honor
like-
of the kid? I was driving by Platte Valley. There's a little traffic. I was
Yeah.
like, I might just
rolling.
pull my car over there, grab candy, go. Exactly. Exactly.
Get the hell out of there.
Say Adam Dunn show when
Adam
I
Dunn
did
show,
it.
Adam
Adam Dunn
Dunn
show, Adam Dunn show, grab candy and go.
That's pretty much what we do. Yeah.
But we didn't do it.
Is that
But you guys can maybe do that. Or head down there. They got the
Keep it cool sale.
Keep It Cool sale. That's right. Can fans, can filters,
30%
everything you need. 30% off. Plus say Adam Dunn show and maybe even be more off.
More off.
More off. Better than more on.
Yeah, definitely.
Big shout out to Incredibles Edibles.
Oh, there he is. Sit down.
Our favorite edibles. He doesn't realize that we're doing the show. He
doesn't care.
He doesn't
It's not
care.
his show. It doesn't matter.
No, when next time you're on stage, I'm going to walk in.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
gonna
going to
stop
walk on during the middle of your set. I'm going to walk into the stage and be like, oh, Bert, we got an audience. I'm doing a show. You think I'm just talking to myself?
15,000 people watching right now.
Well, Nick left, so it's down 12. Really nice to meet you, man. Thank you.
That's what Alex said. I've seen again for sure.
Big shout out to Incredibles Edibles, our favorite source, the country's favorite source for cannabis-infused chocolates, gummies, some great concentrates as well. And they do a hell of a pen while we're at it.
Wicked Pen also.
What's that?
Wicked Pen. We're gonna do pen. We're gonna do a pen challenge.
Yeah,
now.
Wicked Pen. Yeah,
Pen challenge. Wicked
pen,
Pen
the
challenge.
pen is mightier than the sword type. The
The Wicked Pen challenge.
Wicked Pen challenge.
Okay, whatever.
Whatever.
Something
Big shout
like
out to
that.
Build a Soil
Jeremy Silva
and the Build a Soil crew. Check them out at buildasoil.com.
making things happen. Making things happen for in the organic field here for years and expanding.
And I hope I don't steal his thunder to say Jeremy will be doing his own podcast.
Awesome.
We're really excited that Jeremy will be joining us in the broadcasting
Do we have
world.
to firebomb him? What does that mean?
No, we're on the same team.
Okay, we're on the same team.
Yeah, we're on the same team. We're not against him. We're on the same team.
Not
We're working
against.
together.
Okay, good. Because I hear podcasts, I get worried.
I know you get scared. But
I think that's our. I think that we're the only guys.
no,
No,
but
we're not.
it's going to be even better because he's going to probably be very meticulous and Jeremy-like about his, and hopefully direct some of his great listeners to us.
No, it'd be good because he every time he comes on the show, he could do that show plus another 1.5, 2, 3
Exactly.
more.
So we'll do
he
one
needs
with us and do 2.5
He
on
needs
his
a
own.
podcast, and then we can concentrate on just
Doing
tidbits.
Terps.
Yeah, doing everybody else's Terps. Perfect. Making the shows roll even that much smoother. But yeah, tonight we have the Irie movie night, like we said earlier. So
Yep.
come on through, and we are.
You're way off. Big shout out to.
Oh yeah, sorry.
You're just losing. You can't stay on track. Veg and Bloom.
I think it's all the Terps, bro.
Yeah, it could be. Your
Lack of
Terp brains.
I need more Terps.
Hydroponic research.
I need more Terps.
Here, there's the blessings. Just blessings.
Yes. Big
Okay.
shout out to.
Hydroponic research makers of Veg and Bloom.
Boom. Are they actually out of a product right now? Is that what
They
you-
are sold out of one of the products, thanks to us,
Oh, shit, look at
probably.
this guy. Who's this guy?
Oh, well, done. I need to
charge?
come in here. Here you go. Wristbands. Here, Bert, come say it on the mic so everyone can
Is this for
hear.
everybody or this is for us?
You owe Bert $5.
$5 wristbands. These are the ones. As they roll in the door. Okay. I'll tell KTI.
Give it to KTI, the guy who has no hands. He's going to keep people out.
Actually, yeah, we have.
All right. Of course, big shout out to Hydroponic Research, makers of Veg and Bloom, our favorite source for plant-soluble powder-based nutrition. The Powder Boys always killing it in terms of reliability, consistency, batch-to-batch, large-scale. It is the way to go if you're going for a
Not
clean
lugging around.
commercial facility.
I mean, the thing is, with all nutrients, as we all know, water, main ingredient, transportation,
Paying for water.
also for storage, temperature swings, things like that. I don't know how many times I've seen people buy gigantic amounts of nutrients because they save money, and then they end up throwing half of it away.
So they
because-
don't save money.
So there's no money saved at all. And with this, everything is used. It's super concentrated, and it's stable as hell. Also, you can use other programs with it. It's very adaptable.
Compatible.
Yep. You don't have to worry about like going into shock because you're trying to mix it with something else. And also, you can tune it to your particular growth technique. So it's, click on hydro. If you're growing hydro, what's your water source? Is it hard, soft? What's your ppms? Everything can be adaptable to grow the best products you want to grow.
And that, it saves you so much work on your end. Usually you're sitting there with a fucking pH up, pH down, 2 drops of this, 3 drops of that. This is already done before you get it.
Yeah, it's pretty much like you may, if you live in some extreme spot where your water source is really crazy, but for the most part, it's pretty much spot on every time you fucking throw it down. You're just like, okay, well, that was easy. Look at KTI over there, just getting a whole new wardrobe.
Whole wardrobe shift. He's got a staff shirt on. He's ready to get
He's
heavy.
ready to get heavy.
Big shout out, of course, to Growstones, our favorite aeration amendment.
Did you miss Dark Horse?
Skipping them this time.
Oh, fuck Dark Horse.
Fuck them.
Fuck this guy.
Our favorite aeration amendment, the best possible replacement for perlite or whatever else you're using in your mix there. Some people use lava rock. You can get a better water and air holding capacity. You're going to get a better cation exchange ratio. It's not going to float to the top of your mix. It's not going to break down. And it's made from 100% recycled bottles, recycled material, I should say. Hard to beat it. Check them out at growstone.com. And of course, seeds here now.
Seeds are now.
Seeds here now.
Seeds are now.
Seeds here now.
Seeds are now.
Seeds here now.
All right. There's a lot of seeds here now.
Contest is not.
No, he
happening.
said he. Hold on.
I don't know, but either way, check them out. Seeds here now.
I think he already contacted them.
Oh, he took care of
Yeah,
it.
he took care of it. So
So we're not involved in that. That's
we don't have to announce. Somebody won,
somebody won some seeds.
and they have
Congratulations to the winner.
Exactly.
Okay, and now you can do shout outs. We did a full 2-hour show. Let's do it.
Big shout out to my beautiful wife Cece, who's going to walk through the door in about 5 seconds, I imagine, because she's coming back with Nick, and they're going to hang out as long as they can hang out. And we're going to be doing a big drop with THTC clothing. That's what I wanted to mention earlier, and that is our UK brand that we're repping out here through Hoodlum and through the Hood Lab shop, hoodlabstore.com, whatever that one was that we used to type up. And big shout out to my mom down at the farm. And the boys who are, I guess, not making it up due to car problems and weather. So
Wait, it's KTI has to work the door. He can't even get a wristband around his calf. He's working the door?
no, well, he was going to work the bar, which is even worse.
Yeah, we might have to get someone else on the door because people are walking in.
I'm not sure who's going, but somebody's got to get up there.
Vinny's going to work the door, I think.
But Vinny's got to do all the tech stuff, too. So,
We'll figure it out.
Mitch,
all right.
you're staying all night.
Nope.
Yep, all night. Money.
Shout out to my
Look at
remarkable
that, look
wife.
at that. He's got a wristband around.
Double wristband.
That's ridiculous. Let me see that.
Nice.
Show that to the screen.
To the camera.
Yes, that's ridiculous mode right there.
That's how.
Yeah.
When you just got a party.
Party.
Shout out to my remarkable wife Reese, who is waiting
Shout
for
out
me
to
and
American
texting me
Jungle.
to come home. Shout out to American Jungle.
In the house, they're right here. They just walked in.
Yeah.
I know.
Shout out to little kiddo Farron, the whole squad at Dark Horse. We will catch you guys next week. Actually, I won't be here. Adam will catch
I
you
get
next
to do the
week
Bodie show next week. It's
with
gonna be awesome.
Bodie,
and
in studio in the flesh.
and also obviously with
Bertoni, before the Bertoni show here at So High.
We will have Ben Bertoni.
Bodie Bertoni.
Bodie Ben and Bertoni.
Bodie Bertoni.
Bodie Bertoni.
I'll be sweating my ass off at Palm Springs, and I'll see you guys.
Oh, not Palm Springs. That's the worst.
It is literally the
Look who
worst.
just walked in the door.
Mitra's in the building.
Mitra
We're gonna start
is
the party
in the
now.
building. The party has started.
All right, we're going to start this party. We'll catch you guys next week.
All right. See you guys. Peace.